to CBS News. Not likely, in my opinion. Younger Americans have almost completely walked away from television news as well as newspapers. The average age for cable news watchers, around 70 years old. Hello, pharmaceutical ads. Have you ever seen people happier for having diabetes? They even have a special dance going on. Anyway, even if viewers do not flock back to CBS News and the others that may moderate from the far left, it is worth at least trying to report accurately on the news, right? Just for the sake of honesty. The founding fathers knew that Americans had to get some semblance of reality outside of the government, because the government is always going to tell you what it wants you to hear. That was why journalists got protections from the First Amendment. Well, a lot of that has dissolved into partisan politics. Let's hope things get better. Back in a moment. What happens when flu season hits and your medicine cabinet is empty? Don't get caught off guard. All Family Pharmacy makes it simple to prepare. If you want to be proactive with your health, this is the pharmacy for you. Stock up now on Tamiflu, antibiotics, antivirals, ivermectin, immune support, and much more. Delivered fast with a doctor's prescription included. Visit All Family Pharmacy, one word, allfamilypharmacy.com/Bill. Use promo code Bill to save 10%. That is the Morning O'Reilly Update. More analysis later on.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by Connor Roofing. You can count on Connor for all your roofing needs. Visit ConnorRoofing.com. That's CONNER Roofing.com. Vic Porcelli.
Come on, you're Italian. You understand.
Every day is a busy day all of a sudden.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Tough and smart, and I love Italian, so, he's definitely Italian.
At least I have this show to come and talk about it and let some stuff up.
What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today?
The Vic Porcelli Show.
Good morning, freedom fighters. Good morning, Kenny.
Good morning, Victor.
Ken.
I know that screws you up every day.
Well, it's only my mother and Sal. The only two people ever call me Victor. Rock'em Sock'em Shove, Ken. Thanks so much, man. You got some great stuff today.
My pleasure, Vic.
Karen, Kataline, and husband are going to join us in just a second. A little levity today at 9:25. Zohran Mamdani. Hey, I said it. I got it.
You got it.
He is every day losing steam, losing numbers in the polls. I don't think he's going to win.
He's a liar.
And he's a liar.
What are you going to do?
His mother says he's a liar.
I know.
Jeez,
we talk about
when
that.
your mother won't stick up for you. Good old Nate Lucas at 10:05. 10:25 today, Ken. I want to talk about a guy that probably nobody here in St. Louis has heard of, but his name was Pierre Robert, and I used to work with him briefly at WMMR in Philadelphia. Died yesterday. I just wanted to attribute to Pierre. Great human being, great citizen. He always called the people of Philadelphia the citizens, great citizens.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. All right. Who's doing the pledge?
Dr. Carol Lieberman.
Oh, she's a doctor. No, she's America's psychiatrist.
Right.
Got it. Go ahead.
Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so President Trump is in Asia. Talked to Japan, loves him, right?
Right.
New prime minister, first female prime minister, loves him. Did you see he went to South Korea? They gave him a crowd.
What was that? Okay, what was up with that?
That was
pretty cool. I thought they were trolling.
Yeah, they were. They were goofing on the libs. And then the big meeting with Xi Jinping, which looked like the building, like they met at an IHOP. Like the roof was blue.
Right.
I said to Jess, what kind of building is that? And some good results from that. So we'll talk about that a little bit later too. Right now, let's go.
The one and only Karen Kataline.
Did you know that I'm married to a trucker? I feel like using a Yiddish word, famished. Spoiling in front of my computer, I am. They're just too dumb to lie. He has the effect of 6 shots of scotch.
If you got it, a truck brought it to you. If you got your food, your clothing, your medicine, if you got fuel for your homes, fuel for your industries, a truck brought it to you.
Al Pacino's Jimmy Hoffa and the Irishman. Good morning, Karen.
Good morning.
Good morning, Scott. How are you?
I'm doing wonderfully. I
Welcome,
think that's
Scott.
what my wife told me to say.
This is going to be great. Don't go anywhere, everybody. Stay right where you are. All right. Well, you know, I think, is it okay to start with Scott? Do you mind, Karen? And we'll
Heck yeah,
we'll
go
get
for
around
it.
to you. All right.
Yeah.
So we know that every day, every week when we play that, Karen says, did you know my husband is a trucker? Yeah. So we're going to give him a little inspiration. Scott, keep on trucking, baby.
Keep on trucking, baby. Yeah, baby. I got to keep on trucking.
Okay.
That's how you welcome a trucker to the show. Am I right?
That works.
All right. So, Scott, people have been saying stuff about over-the-road drivers, 18-wheel. Are you stupid?
I resemble that remark.
I mean, really, low intelligence, low IQ. Don't you train truckers? Aren't you in the training part of that industry now?
Yes, I am a CDL and DOT instructor.
You can't be stupid and do that job, can you?
Well, it depends on who you talk to.
Don't be modest with me, young man. So what do you think when somebody on the left says, "Oh, you know, truckers, they're low skilled, you know, they're minimal training"? What do you think about that?
Well, it depends whether or not the trucker came from California or from one of the other states.
New York.
I've got a little story, if you don't mind, a moment or two. I used to train Somali immigrants, and a friend of mine referred to them as pirates, and he had no love for them. He thought they should have go back to where they came from, but they tried very hard to assimilate, to learn our language, to learn all the parts on the truck and everything, and they did very well on their tests, and I don't know a single one of them that failed. So if they can do it where we were, they should be able to do it all over the country, and the problems we're currently having should not exist.
They're giving away CDL licenses in the claw game
boxes.
The claw game at the arcade. Okay, Kenny.
Scott, you know, I took when I became unemployed for a little while in radio, because that's what happens occasionally. I went ahead and tried to get my chauffeur's license, and I actually got it, but I had to study for it. And I think it's an E classification on your driver's license. Is that it, or do you know? I think
mine is. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Cut it out. You hang up. No, you hang up.
You first. My license has everything, and so there is no E classification as far as I am understanding. I know that there's C for just a regular average person. I think E may be something else.
Yeah, it's like a
B
chauffeur's thing.
Well, how many years ago are we talking about?
We're talking about probably 10.
They may have changed things since then. I don't know, because I know in most states B is a classification for chauffeurs for driving coaches.
Oh, okay.
With more than 16 passengers.
So I guess my point is this. So whatever I got, you have to keep stepping up to get the chauffeurs. And then the ultimate is a CDL. I mean, you've got to study for this thing.
Yes.
You should know more than anyone. And these guys there's no possible way that these guys did that, any of that.
They didn't do the study, and no. Not if they're giving them out to them wholesale.
And
not if they're causing the troubles they're causing, making U-turns on interstates. No.
They can't read the signs, Scott.
Right. There was a guy who killed a bunch of people in Colorado years ago. He was way out of route, and the questions that were never answered was, what was he doing there? His truck was not prepared for the mountains. He did not know how to drive the mountains. He went right by a runaway truck ramp with his brakes smoking. Either he didn't know what that meant or what the runaway truck meant, signs meant. So yeah, it's a continuous problem, but fortunately states like Indiana are doing what they need to. They bagged like 120 guys the other day when they had a blitz.
Yeah.
And they literally just took their licenses away and shut down the trucks.
Well, you can't do that anymore because you're racist, you know. So
no, they are.
No, they're
doing it.
They just started doing it again. Yeah.
All right, good.
Yes.
So I just want to say one quick thing. The runaway truck ramp, when we were traveling across the country. We took the southern route, and we were on. I don't know. We were going through Kentucky, and I saw the sign that said "Runaway Truck Ramp." I'm like to my wife, "What the hell does that mean?" And then I saw when you're out of control, you just get in the right lane. It takes you all the way up this great big hill, so you don't crash into anybody, right?
That's the theory.
Well, listen, we know
The theory.
We know that truck drivers. So my thing with truck drivers is I try to drive the way truck drivers drive. Okay, if I'm in the right lane. Hey, this is compliment. This is complimenting all of you guys. I stay in the right lane, and then if there's a car in the shoulder, I put my left blinker on. I get out of that lane, and then I get right back in the lane when I pass it. You guys do that all the time. And one thing I love about driving on the highway is when a trucker needs to get in my lane, I flash him the beams. He gets in front of me, and then he does that little thank you thing with his lights.
You kiss ass.
I am.
You're such a nice guy.
All right, so this wife of yours, she's a little Michigana, isn't she?
She's a power to contend with.
She is. Put her back on the phone. Thanks, Scott.
So is he.
Yeah, you guys sound like a great couple.
Yeah,
great
really,
couple.
man.
We have a great time together.
That's so fun.
You know, Karen, you read that piece that I wrote and Red State ran it, by the way. It's on redstate.com.
Oh, mazel tov.
Hey, how do you say thank you?
Toda.
Toda.
You're welcome.
Hey.
Well, let's see. Tov, toda,
Tov,
I think.
Tov da. All right, thanks.
Tov. Anyway.
So,
yeah.
But I mean, the whole thing about this piece that I wrote is stop it. Stop saying things that are so stupid. Liberals are so stupid. And they say things that are so wrong. And I just don't understand why we let them get away with it. So I said to my wife, somebody on a national level needs to, either on TV or on the radio, or somebody needs to write something and say that they're wrong. They're not Nazis. You guys are idiots. And she goes, do it. So I did it.
Don't you love spouses? They push you in all the right places.
Yep, absolutely.
It's really great that you did that. It's a wonderful article. I hope everybody reads it. And we can't be shy and have our heads down anymore.
Yeah, we have to be on the offensive.
Can't.
Kenny and I, our motto is be on the offensive.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I think it's terrific and
right.
important.
So, Karen and Scott, what do you guys do for fun? I mean, what does Karen and Scott do on date night? Where do you guys go?
I don't let her drive.
There you go.
You're the truck driver. What do you drive right now, Scott?
I don't have a truck that I'm driving since I'm teaching, but I do drive a Honda Accord, and it's a wonderful little car.
Is it a manual transmission?
No,
okay.
My Jeep is.
Okay.
When I get the gear shifting urge.
Yeah, I love the stick, man.
I learned on a stick, but I get the best of both worlds. He does all the driving, and then we don't argue. It's much better that way.
How does that work?
Well, you know what I did, Karen? My first daughter, she's 20, going on 26 now. But when I was teaching her how to drive, I taught her how to drive. I bought a stick for her, and she drove that to college. She hated it, but now because she's a national park ranger, every once in a while they have stick shift vehicles, and they go, "No, I'm not going to check with anybody because I know you young people don't know how to drive these." And she's like, "I do."
Good.
So she thanked me for that.
Yeah, they say that's your best device. What is it? Anti-theft device. Because nobody else knows how to drive them.
My car.
They're fun. They're fun to drive.
My car. I have a Mazda 6 right now. It's a manual transmission. And in the winter, if I go to Quick Trip in the morning to get coffee or whatever, I'll just leave it running, walk into Quick Trip, and my wife says, "Somebody's going to steal your car." I said, "You know what? The odds are 4-1 in my favor. That's not going to happen."
Well, I just want to throw this in because I was thinking that I had to prepare my husband for doing this. He really is very comfortable speaking in crowds and so forth. But I said, they might ask you, what should everyday people do, especially while they're trying to get these people off the roads who shouldn't have a CDL, who can't speak the language and who can't read the signs. And what did you say, Scott?
Stay away from them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you know?
Get out of their way. Give them space. If they can't see you, they do have blind spots, and just give them space. Don't argue with a truck. You're going to lose.
And don't pass on the right.
Correct.
Yes. Don't pass on the right.
But you see, here's the thing. Here's how life has changed. When I'm on the road and I see an 18-wheeler, I'm like, oh, here's a guy that knows how to drive. These guys are good. They know what they're doing. And now, in the last few months, you're like, well, it could be any idiot that doesn't even know where third gear is.
That's the fear that I have. Yeah.
And the thing that I thought was so interesting is that this has been happening for a long time. It's only now that it's getting reported upon. So think about that. You know, you get all those lawyers who say, if you've been hurt by an 18-wheeler,
right,
but you never see it reported by the propaganda media because they were covering up in Democrat states for people who shouldn't be on the roads. That accident that Scott talked about in Colorado, you could not find out if he was legal in this country. They covered it up and they quashed any information about it. Now that it's coming out, people think it started now. No, they're starting to put an end to it now.
You know, the Biden open border policy, this is just one industry we're learning now, right? How many other industries have people who have come across and they don't know what the hell they're doing?
Vic, that's a great point. And that it's a scary proposition for us, Karen. I mean, we don't know exactly what they allow, even on a state and local level, because and I believe this carries over. TDS, that's what they're all in. They have this mental disorder. It's called Trump derangement syndrome, and it goes all the way down to the localities.
Yeah, I think that Swalwell, you know, ought to get reelected for telling people that you should demolish the ballroom. I mean, they're so psychotic. It's hilarious what they leave out. Do they think he's going to just demolish the White House and not put anything back? And when he does put a gorgeous ballroom back, I know we talked about this, he's not taking it with him.
Right.
and we didn't pay for it. So
no.
And
they leave all that out on purpose. It's the contrast has never been more drastic. There's Trump running around the world making peace with people and making deals and making America rich, and there's the Democrats hysterical and starting riots. The contrast couldn't be more obvious.
I'm always up for a good joke, you know, and this meme made me laugh out loud. It had, you know, the finished project, the East Wing turned into a Trump tower. It was like a 100-story Trump tower. It was perfect.
That was a troll, another Trump troll, because he posted that actually.
So I just want to say before you let us go, because I know you well, please, God, I hope you're right that Mamdani loses. It's a tall order. But I'm hoping that people will come to their senses and realize that communists lie. I don't care what he promises you.
Yeah. Well, what did you correct me on? Takia?
Oh,
he's practicing Takia.
That's right.
Well, I got to tell you, you know, I'm a bit famished that we got, you know, Karen's for blunge, for cocked. As a matter of fact, Scott,
about what?
About that we got your husband on the air.
I know. I can't believe it either. I was going to tease you and say I'm all jealous, but I'm really not. I think it's great. You know, he's pretty loose and glib. Usually he hasn't ever done radio in his whole life, as far as I know. But
he's done it now.
You know, we laugh all the time together.
That's great. You guys are great. You're a great couple.
And he ribs me a lot.
You're both Meshuggah. We love that. Scott, thanks so much for being with us.
It was a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Karen, you know we love you.
Love ya.
And
thanks, Scott.
Scott, keep on trucking, baby.
Take care, you guys.
How lucky are we, Ken?
No kidding.
There's a truck driving scandal going on. You just happen to have the spouse who is a truck driver of our favorite guest.
I know.
Karen, Kataline, and Scott. I'm famished. I am. I'm famished. I'm for bludgeon. For All right, coming up next, a little levity today. Rock'em Sock'em Thursday underway on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
Watch us on our live stream using Rumble, Facebook, and Twitter. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Latino so long as you deny, our freedom can never be secured.
English, mother, do you speak it?
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Whoosh.
If you have a phone, you have a radio. Download the all-new News Talk STL app
Love the all-new Newstalk STL app.
and listen anytime, anywhere.
Hey, it's Susie Moore. If new flooring makes you think hassle, think again, because Michael's Flooring is changing the game. For over 30 years, Michael's has been locally owned and trusted for quality, variety, and amazing service. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, laminate, luxury vinyl, or ceramic tile, their expert team makes installing new floors exciting, not stressful. That's why customers keep coming back. Visit Michael's Flooring at St. Peter's, Starting Prairie, Creve Coeur, or online at igotfloored.com. That's igotfloored.com.
Simply Health with Dr. Brian Deloney.
What if staying young wasn't about luck, but science? I'm Dr. Brian Deloney with Simply Health Integrated Medical, and this week on Simply Health, now available without a prescription, we're going to be talking about peptides, NAD+, exosomes, and a whole bunch of different natural breakthroughs that are helping people feel decades younger. The science of staying young is here. Don't miss it.
Simply Health, Saturdays at noon on News Talk STL. To find out more about Simply Health Integrated Medical, log on to simplyhealthintegrated.com.
Hey, Colombo here for Intervine, a great local company that has customers all across the country due to the quality of their products. Intervine has the best flashlights, lanterns, headlamps, and even batteries, including the new Monster 2000 Lumen waterproof lantern and the Sentinel 2000 self-defense flashlight. Our home and vehicles are full of great Intervine products, and right now you can shop their website and get 25% off your entire purchase just by using my name, Tony, as your promo code. That's promo code Tony at Intervine.com.
Are you searching for an excellent new vehicle or a great deal on a used one? Then check out Tyler Trineri, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Tim Jones here to tell you what loyal Tyler Trineri customers already know. Every new vehicle and select used ones come with an exclusive lifetime warranty. And Tyler Trineri has a service department second to none. I should know. I've been a loyal and happy customer for years. For the best price, selection, and the amazing lifetime warranty, check out Tyler Trineri today, right off Interstate 44 in beautiful Pacific, Missouri. Online at tylertrineri.com, tylertrineri.com.
Free speech is alive and well in America.
Thanks for taking my call.
Right here.
We know what's going on.
Have our great awakening.
You see through the smoke screen.
It's cool to be woke. News Talk STL. Until it's not. News, analysis, opinion. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. Vic and Ken. Ken can dunk a basketball. Vic can dunk a donut. The Vic Porcelli Show on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL.
Nobody does it better, ladies and gentlemen, than Kenneth James Williams.
Thank you, Vic Porcelli.
Did you do this? You know, your mother.
Yeah, that was gave me a little chill when you said that.
Well, your mother talks to you like that until you're grown up, and then she talks to the dog like that. Right?
Wow, that's
Kenneth
so
James
true.
Williams, did you do this? And then you're grown up, and it's like, Phantom, did you do this?
You know, you just remind me of my mother. God, I'm going to cry.
Okay.
It was just so awesome. She had 8 kids.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, my God.
So, more than one occasion, my mother would go, Jim Box, hey, you, right there.
Unbelievable.
That was awesome.
We only had 2 kids, and my mother used to do it.
8 kids.
Chris, Vic, all the time. All the time. All right, Ken, you know what? We need a little levity today.
I just thought it was time to. I just thought we'd have a little levity today.
An honor to be here. President Trump is back.
News about today's events and conditions.
I don't know about you, but I don't want my dollars going towards this crap.
A little levity.
77 million Americans voted to elect this
Have
president.
you ever noticed that the people who are wrong always seem to talk louder than anybody
I will
else?
hold myself to the truth, and I expect everyone in this room to do the same.
A little levity today.
Little levity today. Ken, I don't know where you found that guy, but when I hear him, you know, you make up something in your head on what he looks like and everything. And I just picture him with a farmer's hat on and overalls and sitting there saying, when I burn down in no-till, I use Roundup.
Well, I was just driving along the farmland of Illinois and saw this man just kind of leaning back in his chair. And I thought, I'm going to go up and talk to this gentleman. And there he was.
Telling stories.
Yeah.
All right. So Caroline Leavitt, the left, you know why the left hates her so much? Because she's so good.
Yeah.
Look at the upgrade from KJP to her.
She doesn't even look down. Anything you're going to see right now, I saw the whole thing when I was recording it. She doesn't look down.
And people are saying too that she dresses like from another generation. You know what I mean? Like she doesn't wear sexy stuff.
Very conservative.
Yeah. Very conservative dresser. I love her. I absolutely love her to death. All right. So let's hear what Caroline has to say, explaining that Joe Biden allowed in illegals to cross our border for the whole last 4 years. Ken, a little levity.
During the 4 years of Joe Biden's administration, the Democrats forced Border Patrol to admit illegal aliens into our country with no legal status and minimal screening. A significant number of these individuals are the worst of the worst criminals, rapists, pedophiles, murderers, and even members of the terrorist watch list. Despite having no legal status, paroled aliens were able to file for work authorization, receive Social Security numbers, and access other benefits like Medicaid that are meant for Americans. Since I've found many in this room to repeatedly deny the reality that Democrats gave Medicaid benefits to illegals, and they continue to seek to do just that.
How can they deny that?
They can't. I know. We're talking about a little bit about spouses today. You know, with Karen and Scott had today, and my wife. You know, she's very apolitical, but it's interesting because she's becoming more aware of things.
Yeah,
I can almost not say she's apolitical anymore because she'll ask me questions, and that's one of the things she asked me, Vic. She says, what she'll do is she'll say, I read this here. Is this true? And we'll talk about it. And I'm like, honey, it's all true. I mean, I can show you other sources about this information. And she's very upset about it. I think America is starting to see that.
Did you hear some of the stats of the people who are on SNAP and, welfare, Medicaid? The numbers are staggering.
That's one of the questions she had. She said, there are 43 million people on SNAP. How many people are in this country? 340, something like that, that are legal? I mean, that's an amazing number.
And out of those 43 million, how many don't even belong here, much less get benefits?
Exactly right. And a lot of this stuff that's going on right now, they won't pass this bill because the CR, because it was COVID money that was supposed to expire. And the Democrats actually assigned it an expiration date. So these were the questions that we discussed. And I think America is starting to see this a little bit. The people who are actually researching.
Yeah. The people who sort out different news than just the mainstream media.
Correct.
That's where you got to be. All right. So she even has examples of some of the illegals receiving benefits.
These are examples of some of the illegals who received Medicaid benefits under President Biden's leadership. And this is what Democrats are wanting to do. This is why they are continuing to keep the government closed. An illegal alien from Laos was arrested for murder, robbery, and felony possession of a firearm.
This is amazing.
An illegal alien from Guatemala who was arrested for rape and burglary. An illegal alien from El Salvador who was arrested for strangulation, DUI, and burglary. An illegal alien from Mexico who was arrested for attempted murder. The Democrats' open border policies allowed these threats into our country, and then they provided them with free health care. The president and the Republicans, through the One Big Beautiful Bill, implemented a common sense reform to end this fraudulent scheme. But that's why the Democrats are continuing to shut down the federal government. They are trying to reverse this and restore taxpayer-funded health care for illegal aliens like these.
So how many times do we talk about, Ken, we say, Affordable Care Act, can't afford it.
Right.
And yet illegals come here, haven't put a dime of sweat into this country, and they get it for free?
And that's why all those Chicagoans are so enraged. They're watching their community centers, their hotels being taken over, basically, by and other facilities, not just those, but by illegal aliens in place of their earlier constituency of the black population,
right?
Primarily.
And what about Dearborn, Michigan? How many of those people are on free health care up there?
Oh, exactly right, Vic.
After the call to prayer, they go to the doctor.
Well, she brought up these few examples here of these illegal aliens that crossed the border during the Biden administration that were, these are violent people. How many have they missed? I estimated, and you remember this, From the very beginning, I said over 20 million easily.
You have from the beginning.
And so if you take that, if that's even close to being true, how many of those people are like that?
Yeah.
Okay, that we've missed so far.
Yeah.
And they're wandering on our streets.
It's just mind-blowing and infuriating. All right.
And I'm sure I want to say also, real quick, I want to say, I understand there's a vast majority of these illegal aliens that are not that way, that want to just have a better life here. Okay, leave, and then come back the right way, because if you don't do it on your own, you're never going to be able to come back here.
They all want the instant gratification, instead of coming through the right way, port of entry, go through the right channels, wait your turn, take the civics tests, go to Parkway South in a classroom and raise your hand. And
learn English.
And learn English and become a citizen of the United States. But they don't want that. They want instant gratification. They want it right now.
And they want all the bennies.
I'm done. Done with it.
No, you're not.
No,
you are not. We're still in the middle of a levity.
Oh, that's right. Can't quit now.
No,
Not a
after
good
that,
time.
okay.
All right, Kataline Levity talking about examples of Democrat remarks about the shutdown and how shocking that their remarks are.
Throughout this shutdown, Democrats have said this quiet part out loud. Senator Chuck Schumer, the leader of the caucus that is refusing to open the government, said, quote, "Every day gets better as the shutdown continues."
Wow.
Ask the air traffic controllers if every day is getting better, Senator Schumer, and they will tell you absolutely not. House Democrat Catherine Clark said, "There are going to be families that are going to suffer. We take that responsibility seriously, but this is one of the few leverage points that we have." Here is a House Democrat who is admitting that they are using Americans who are suffering as political leverage. And Senator Bernie Sanders said, "If you reopen the government, we lose our leverage." This is pure partisan games. A senior Democrat aide said the party will not end the shutdown, quote, "short of planes falling out of the sky." That is truly a disturbing statement. The Democrats clearly don't care about this suffering. They care about playing political games against President Trump, and this dangerous charade needs to end. The president, in Republicans' position, has been clear and unchanged. Pass a clean, nonpartisan funding bill to reopen the government.
So, the Democrats will say, "You mean Republicans, you always pick on the immigrants and all that stuff." Who's picking on the immigrants now? When they won't even pass a CR to get the government open to give Americans their SNAP benefits.
I don't know if they think that Americans are just resilient people. Just ignore them. Let's take care of the people who are downtrodden, the illegals.
Right.
And that's what they think.
Right.
It's crazy.
So I don't know what to do now, Ken. It's 37. Maybe we should do 13. It's a short one. Is
Yeah.
that okay? The question about the ballroom. This ballroom, I swear to God, President Trump knows how to troll, just doing everyday basic things, So this is all about the ballroom.
In addition to the ballroom and the Rose Garden patio, is the president looking at any other renovations or significant kind of projects here at the White House?
Not to my knowledge, no. But he's a builder at heart, clearly. And so his heart and his mind is always churning about how to improve things here on the White House grounds. But at this moment in time, of course, the ballroom is really the president's main priority.
A little levity today. Have a little levity.
Perfect answer to a stupid question.
And then that's the question that they actually modified to make it sound like President Trump was only worried about the ballroom. Screw the rest of the country.
Let me ask you a question. When you were a kid, the company was coming over.
Yeah.
Did your mother told you to make sure your room is clean? Make
Oh,
sure
yeah.
everything's clean?
Oh, yeah.
Right? So Democrats don't do that, I guess. Because when people come to the White House for celebrations, just put up some tents. Put up some tents.
Johnny on the spot.
Yeah. Put porta potties over there, umbrellas if it rains. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It looks like Taste of St. Louis. Worse than Taste of St. Louis.
President Trump knows that this is the greatest country on earth that there has ever been. He wants it to be represented that way.
And what he's doing is being a parent saying, clean up this. It seems to be a couple, clean up this mess.
Great.
Right? All right. Coming up next, a guy who is a great author. He's got a book called Intifada on the Hudson, the selling of Zohran Mamdani. His name is Robert Spencer. He's next on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
Watch us on our live stream using Rumble, Facebook, and Twitter. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show.
Some of these protesters hold up signs proclaiming gays for Gaza. They might as well hold up signs saying chickens for KFC.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL. News Talk STL.
Storm damage got you stressed out? Don't worry. Call Mario and his team at Top Quality Exteriors. We're your local St. Louis neighbors. Mario and his team specialize in roofing, siding, and gutters. Whether you need a few shingles replaced or a complete exterior makeover, we bring quality work with real results at an affordable price. Plus, we'll work with your insurance company to get your claim approved and help you get your repairs done quickly. Call for a free estimate today, 314-618-8888. BBB accredited and ready to roll. 314-618-8888.
Tim Jones and Chris Arps in the afternoon.
Johnny Tobacco, he's host of Wise Guys on Newsmax. The polls are saying that Kami Mamdani is going to be the next mayor of New York.
Well, you know, Chris, I don't know what they say out in St. Louis about polls, but here in New York, we say polls are good in two places, strip clubs and firehouses. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Tim Jones and Chris Arps. Weekdays at 4 on News Talk STL.
Hi, I'm Helene Tobler, culinary nutritionist at Body of Health Direct Primary Care. Here we do practical wellness. Dr. Randy and I have a common sense approach to healthcare. My passion is helping our members enjoy better nutrition because food is medicine. We approach problems with a lifestyle foundation and cutting-edge medical tool chest. At Body of Health, it's about being your healthiest you. If you want to experience healthcare the way it ought to be, schedule a discovery call today at bodyofhealth.com. That's bodyofhealth.com.
Why leave your company's story to chance? In today's digital world, video content isn't just an option. It's essential for your success. At Blue Ocean Media Group, we've spent decades crafting compelling visual stories for businesses just like yours. From concept to completion, our award-winning team transforms your vision into powerful video content that connects with your audience and drives results. Don't trust your brand to amateurs. Partner with Blue Ocean Media Group. Visit blueoceanmediagroup.com today, and let's bring your story to life.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by Connor Roofing. You can count on Connor for all your roofing needs. Visit ConnorRoofing.com. That's CONNER Roofing.com. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019.
Hi, this is Corey DeAngelis, Senior Fellow at the American Federation for Children. You can find my work at educationfreedompledge.com. But now, you're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show on News Talk STL.
Corey, thank you so much. All right, Ken, coming up on November 13th, which is now just 14 days away, it's the Right to Life campaign kickoff with our very own handsome Ultra MAGA former Speaker of the House, Tim Jones, at the DePere Lodge at 1050 DePere Road. So get out there and be part of the Right to Life campaign kickoff.
Timmy!
With Timmy. All right. Stop it, Ken. Let's get
All
serious
right.
here. Stop screwing around. All right. Robert Spencer is our guest. Excuse me, Robert. I'm sorry. He's got a book called Intifada on the Hudson, The Selling of Zohran Mamdani. Now, Robert, how are you? Thanks for being with us.
Hey, just great. Great to be here. Thank you.
So I grew up in New Jersey, right? Essex County, New Jersey. We could make it into Manhattan in 15, 20 minutes. We were there all the time. And at the time, you know, New York was the greatest city in the world. And now it's not. And it's going to get worse if Zohran Mamdani gets elected, Robert.
Yeah, it's certainly true. This guy is an adherent of not just one, but two destructive anti-American ideologies. He's a Marxist. He denies that, but I've got the proof in the book from statements he has made, policy recommendations he has made, and so on. And he is also a Twelver Shiite Muslim. The Twelver Shiites, that's the official religion of the Islamic Republic of Iran, where they order the people every Friday in the mosque to chant death to America. And so if he holds to that ideology, he likely is not very well disposed toward America, as he has also himself made clear also.
And Robert, I've talked about actually living with Muslims, and there are some very kind Muslims who don't aspire to that form of Islam. And I just have to maintain that here on this show, I believe that Islam is 100% incompatible with Christian culture and with the Western culture.
Well, yeah. And so if he is going to try to implement Sharia in New York, it's going to cause a lot of friction. And people might think, oh, that's crazy. He won't try to do that. There's one law for all people. But the fact is that in Britain, they have Sharia courts. They got them all over the country. And they were promised in Britain, when they were established, that they would not impinge upon British law. They would only deal with private matters of arbitration and so on between married couples and things like that. And they would report things like spousal abuse, which is allowed in Islamic law, but not allowed in British law, to the British courts. Well, they didn't. And so women have no protection, no recourse. Wow. The British are so weak, they're not doing anything. Mamdani could very easily establish courts that would operate in the same way in New York.
Amazing.
I think it's time to call the mob. Time to call the mafia. Get them in. You know, it'd be a shame if you tried to get Sharia law here in New York City. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, talking about New Yorkers, we're going to hear a little bit from a New Yorker, real New Yorker, in just a second. But my wife and I were talking about this yesterday, and really, truly, the only real New Yorker, when you're talking about New York City, is Curtis Sliwa. You know, I consider Andrew Cuomo an upstate snob New Yorker. You know what I mean? But Sliwa was born in New York. He lived in New York his whole time. Mamdani is a socialist, communist. I think Curtis Sliwa was the guy.
Well, that's certainly true. The problem is he's got no chance, because New York's pretty far to the left already. They don't really realize how dangerous Mamdani is. Cuomo, of course, as you noted, he's a very unappealing candidate. He's a total corruptocrat. He's been around for years, and his record is terrible, and people know what he's all about. And so a lot of people, they realize that Mamdani's trouble, but they don't want to vote for Cuomo, and they just don't think Curtis Lee was on the radar. It would be nice if we could say, yeah, the man has a real chance, but we're talking about New York City here.
Can we steal that corruptocrat? I like that. Can you write that down?
I'm going to.
Corrupt. That's good, man. Oh my God. All right. So, you know, all right, before we get to the audio, Mamdani's mother doesn't even think he's good for the job. When your own mother won't stick up for you, then what?
Well, his mom said he wasn't an American.
Right.
That he does not consider himself an American, and that's certainly true. I've got it in the book that he's claimed he when he was trying to be a rapper in 2017, he did an interview with a Ugandan paper where he said, "I've always lived in Uganda my whole life." And I thought, wait a minute, you know, the man, it's very clear. We know what schools he went to. We know he has a public record that he lived in New York from the late 90s. And yet he clearly does not consider himself to be an American, and certainly has no love for this country. And he's going to come into New York as mayor with those kinds of attitudes.
Some people in New York, first of all, we're talking to Robert Spencer. The book he referred to is Intifada on the Hudson, the selling of Zohran Mamdani. Listen to this New Yorker who not only doesn't want Mamdani in the race, but he wants President Trump to get rid of his citizenship altogether.
I asked President Donald J. Trump to ban Sharia law in America, in Puerto Rico, and across all U.S. territories.
You don't like our laws? Get the out of America!
Wow! Assimilate, or leave. This is not hate. What we say is with truth and love. We will not be silent. You will not use the Constitution against us. You will not use your religion against us. Practice your religion, but it's not going to supersede America, the Constitution, and the people that we are. We love the melting pot. This is America, and it's going to stay that way. If you can't assimilate, you got to go. That's it.
Now, there's a guy who sounds like he's come to this country and has assimilated because he's got an accent that's not talking and walking the dog and having a cup of coffee. So even he gets it.
That's right, Spencer. Hey, Robert, and he said something there that I think is the most important point. You cannot be using the Constitution against us. Up till now, that's what we do. We say, well, I guess it's in the Constitution. We cannot play by those rules anymore.
Well, I couldn't agree more. I don't think that Mamdani is likely to get deported. There certainly is a case that could be made due to his open support for jihad terror groups such as Hamas. Of course, he denies all that, and that's one of the things that would make it difficult. When I say open support, it's a little bit indirect because it's all that globalize the Intifada business. Most people know, but some people don't realize that phrase is a call to kill Jews everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
And he has refused on repeated occasions to denounce it. And so it's very clear the man's for that. And imagine if he's mayor of the city that has the largest Jewish population outside of Israel, he could do an awful lot of damage.
Now, I'm glad you said that, okay? Because my wife and I were having a conversation last night, and she does not believe the polls because she does not think that Jews in Brooklyn are going to vote for this guy at all. So I wonder, do you think the polling could be that skewed that they would not go to Brooklyn and ask the Brooklyn Jews what they think?
Yeah, actually, I heard this the other day. I didn't know this before, but somebody was actually just informing me that the Orthodox Jews in Brooklyn, they do not participate in polls. So they are not represented. When we are hearing, I don't know if this, can't say this is, that I am certain this is accurate, but on the other hand, it does sort of accord with their general tendency not to get involved in such matters. And the fact is that they would be a solid block against Mamdani. Now, whether they're for Cuomo or Sliwa, I don't know. Probably would go for Cuomo just because they would calculate that he is more likely to have a chance to beat Mamdani.
And they probably voted for his father for governor, right? Years ago, Mario Cuomo.
Probably so, yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what the solution is. I'm sure there's some good indications in the book. Tell us a little more about the book, and then we'll let you go, Robert.
Well, the book is a pretty complete biography of the man. You want to know anything about Zohran Mamdani, it's in there, and shows how he has lived a life of privilege from multimillionaire parents. They are limousine leftists of the classic variety, Marxists who taught him his Marxism, and he's a good boy. He's just following out what his parents taught him, but it's deeply insidious and anti-American. He means it. He has never held a real job, but one of the jobs he did hold, he helped out a few campaigns before he became a politician himself. And one of the candidates he worked for says, oh, yeah, he's a true believer. He's a real socialist. He's deeply committed to it. And that's dangerous for New York because that could collapse New York's economy.
And, New York needs to be the greatest city in the world, Robert, like it's been for so many years.
Yep. And it's in deep peril at this moment.
All right. So when you talk to people on the radio, you give them a little bio, right? Here's my book. And then you have Spencer has appeared on the BBC, ABC News, CNN, OANN, Newsmax, all these shows. Now you got to put our show in there now. He's been on the Vic Porcelli Show. Oh my God, he's been on the Vic Porcelli Show. Holy
wow!
Cow. And we're going to go ahead and steal that corruptocrat from you. Is that okay?
Yeah.
You got it.
Thanks, Robert.
I won't even send you an invoice.
Perfect. Free royalties. I love it. And you get the book at Amazon, right?
Yep, it's there at Amazon and anywhere fine books are sold. If you see a lousy bookstore, it won't be in there. Fine books are sold. That's where you'll find it.
That is so funny.
And Robert, as this whole thing develops, assuming that if he does get into to become mayor of New York, we'll have to call you again and get some updates.
Absolutely. Yep, I'll be here.
Come a-calling. All right, Robert Spencer. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Robert.
There's some scary stuff in this election, Ken, and you know what? You scare me sometimes because when you say that Islam, they don't assimilate.
They don't.
They want Sharia law. And I say to myself, the thing you put up on Twitter, on X the other day, there was a woman and her son right before they executed her. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
So what if, because I'm not sure we can make a mistake and get out of it.
No, that's what's happening in the UK right now.
So
they are sliding quickly into this military strategy known as Islam.
Ken refuses to call it a religion, and I agree. But do you see what I'm saying? I mean, it could get to a point that so far that AOC is going to be like, I'm not wearing that on my head.
Yeah, and then you get shot. I mean, that's the extreme. That's at the end. That's when you get rocks thrown at you as a woman. I mean, I can't believe that women aren't standing up today saying, hey, wait a minute, this is way too bad of a they're calling it a religion than it is.
How could they not? Are they really not paying attention that much?
I don't think it's about that. I think it's about many other ideologies that are coming into like a perfect storm, allowing this to happen. Vic, I kept trying to find, and this is the one main reason I want everybody to know this. The reason why I bring this up so much, the word that I use all the time that I had to learn because I couldn't figure out. I kept saying, well, they lie all the time. They lie. I don't understand it. Everybody, you need to see this because they're lying when they say the things they're saying. Well, there's a word for it. There's such big liars in Islam. They actually have a word to protect themselves from it. And what it's called is taqiyya. Taqiyya. Okay. Now look it up because that's actually in the Quran. And what it is, it's like a shield to protect them when they do lie. It says, well, when you're being under stress, when you are feeling like you're being under threat, your identity is going to be exposed, then you must practice this thing called taqiyya. It is to lie. To lie.
So does that shield you from perjury if it were in a court of law?
Well, in Sharia it does. No, we're talking about a whole different thing here.
I
Vic.
get it, but what if we get that far? I mean, you know, Dearborn, Michigan, Minnesota.
Okay,
they're already doing Sharia in England.
Well, I don't know if they're doing Sharia in Dearborn yet. No, I don't think they are.
Oh, that's good.
That's the one step that actually in Great Britain they are practicing it. Do you know and this is for people who don't understand this. Do you know in the UK right now they have neighborhoods where the police force cannot go in. They are under complete control by Islam. And the Sharia law.
And what happens if they do?
They're told to leave. Just get out of here. There are people being arrested for wearing the Star of David walking down the street because they're upsetting. They're actually bringing people into the police department who are wearing the Star of David because they are upsetting the populace.
So I think then Dearborn, Michigan, we have to keep an eye on.
Big time.
And see how it progresses.
And Minneapolis as well.
And let's see where they go. Let's see how far they go. And if they start, I mean, Dearborn, Michigan, how big of a city is Dearborn, Michigan? It's not Detroit. You know what I mean?
Right.
I know it's not a tiny little town, but it's not Detroit.
It's not, but I don't care how small, Vic, if it's 1,000 people, any city in this country.
But it's a good gauge.
It is. It really is.
Because it's so small.
Good point. Yeah.
So we can look at this. I mean, would you rather look at that as a gauge or Minneapolis as a gauge?
Well,
Minneapolis,
both of them.
Well, but Minneapolis is huge compared to Dearborn in size and populations. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep a look on Dearborn like it's an ant farm, and take a look and say, what are these crazy Islam doing?
And there's a guy, I saw on social media, and he said that people are trying to compare the call to prayer with the bells that are ringing. He said, listen, 2 times in a week, the bells are being rung for Christians. 5 times a day is when you're getting the call to prayer every single day, 7 days a week.
That drive me crazy. That would drive me absolutely crazy.
Right.
All right. Porcelli's Deli today at 10:25 is going to be about a guy I worked with briefly. I'm not saying he was my best friend. I'm not saying I knew him so great, but I did work with him and I did admire him and like him. His name is Pierre Robert, and he worked at 93.3 WMMR. And we'll talk about him. And Nate Lucas is next. So stick around.
Hi, Chris Arts here. Join me and the team at Royal Banks of Missouri for their annual Economic Forecast Breakfast. The event takes place on Tuesday, November 18th at the factory in the district of the Chesterfield Valley. You'll hear from their experts and get a better understanding of what to expect from the U.S. economy in 2026 and beyond. Doors open at 7:30 a.m. and the program starts at 8 a.m. Attendance is free, but you do need to reserve a spot. You can RSVP by calling 314-212-1595. That's Royal Banks of Missouri.
If you're considering an annuity as part of your retirement plan, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel, and host of On the Money Saturday mornings at 9 on News Talk STL 1019. Annuities can be a useful tool for some retirement investors, but not all annuities are created equal. Every week, we meet clients who own complex annuities that don't suit their needs and, in some cases, actively undermine their retirement plan. Before you purchase an annuity, get a second opinion from the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel. Requesting a consultation is free of charge. To request a free consultation, contact us at clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member NYSE and SIPC.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Bellefonte, KNBS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 1019, 94.1, and always streaming at NewstalkSTL.com.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. I'm Rich Thomason. Amazing. That's how President Trump describes his meeting in South Korea with Chinese President Xi Jinping.
On Air Force One afterwards, Trump said that the U.S. would reduce tariffs and China would end restrictions on rare earth exports. Unsurprisingly, Trump said he'd rate the meeting 12 out of 10, and he also gave some idea of future visits between the two leaders. Trump to China in April and Xi to the U.S. sometime after that.
Correspondent Tian McLeod-G says the meeting capped the president's week-long Asia trip. President Trump is directing the Pentagon to resume nuclear weapons testing after a 30-plus year hiatus. It was called Operation Arctic Frost. Republican Senator Chuck Grassley says it was a massive Biden Justice Department spy operation surveilling the activities of a host of conservative organizations and the Republican Party. Grassley calls Operation Arctic Frost the vehicle by which FBI agents and DOJ prosecutors could improperly investigate the entire Republican political apparatus. Hurricane Melissa did a real number, and it was a terrible number on the Caribbean.
Dennis Sulu, the UN resident coordinator in Jamaica, said,
"What we are seeing in preliminary assessments is a country that's been devastated to levels never seen before."
Catastrophic flooding occurred in Haiti, where dozens were dead or missing. Eastern Cuba had blown off roofs, downed power lines and crop damage. Hurricane conditions were forecast to continue in the Bahamas into the morning and were expected to affect Bermuda later on Thursday as the storm passes. I'm Karen Shamas.
With the arrests of 5 more people, a total of 7 are now being held in connection with the crown jewel heist at the Louvre in Paris. The gems have yet to be recovered. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 336 points, the Nasdaq 240 points in the red. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Hey, it's Mike Gallagher, host of The Mike Gallagher Show. I don't mess around when it comes to saving you money. Right now, rates have dropped to the lowest level in over a year and a half. That means if you bought your home or refinanced in the last 3 years, you could be saving hundreds of dollars every month. Lower your rate, lower your monthly payment, even kick that pesky PMI to the curb. And get this, you can skip 2 full months of mortgage payments. But that's not all. Fellowship Home Loans just rolled out something incredible. Their very own HELOC and lines of credit. Approval in just 5 minutes. Money in your account in as little as 4 days. It's the easiest system you've ever used. You can do it yourself online. Whether you want to pay off bills, tackle a home project, cover education, or even a wedding, Fellowship Home Loans makes it simple to leverage the money that's already sitting in your house. Just go to fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, or call 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-6453. Fellowship Home Loans, mortgage lending guided by the book.
Nationwide Mortgage Bankers, DBA Fellowship Home Loans, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 819382.
This hour of News Talk STL is brought to you by Rodney and Jen Wallner and the entire Wallner home selling team at Berkshire Hathaway. Call them today at 314-810-SOLD. 314-810-SOLD. From the Michaels Flooring Outlet Weather Center.
I'm meteorologist Chance Koch with your first alert forecast. Going to be a chillier start this morning with temperatures into the upper 30s, lower 40s. Seeing partly cloudy skies that'll give way to a lot more sunshine today. Highs back towards the upper 50s. Seeing winds back out of the north at about 8 to 12 miles per hour. So a little bit of a chillier breeze. Into Friday, Halloween, mostly sunny skies, a high of 60 degrees, a tad bit warmer. Isolated chances of showers into Saturday, mostly dry. The first alert for Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Koch.
Vic Porcelli.
Come on, you're Italian. You understand.
Every day is a busy day all of a sudden.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Tough
and smart, and I love Italian, so, he's definitely Italian.
At least I have this show to come and talk about it and let some stuff up.
What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today?
The Vic Porcelli Show.
Hour number 2 of our 3-hour tour. I'm ready to roll. Totally Rock'em Sock'em Thursday today, thanks to Ken Williams. So Nate's coming up in a sec here, and then Porcelli's Deli today is going to be a little tribute to a guy I worked with briefly and not even closely, but I did have some contact and interaction with him, but that's not the point. The point is on what he meant to the good citizens of Philadelphia. His name is Pierre Robert, and we'll talk about Pierre coming up at 10:25. Cool?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go. Let's talk to Nate Lucas.
This is a man.
The communications director for U.S. Representative Eric Burlison.
How much has changed in this free country since 9/11? Now, I'm getting ready to go get touched by a TSA agent. It's the most action I've gotten in years.
Good morning, Nate Lucas. How are you, my friend?
Hey, Vic and Ken, what's happening? Happy Thursday.
Did we catch you by surprise there? What are you doing? Eating chocolate chip cookies? What the hell's going on over there?
Yeah, I'm trying to get my cookies in, No, it's a wet and gross day in DC, so it's just like depressing.
Yeah, you're getting what we had.
Good weather.
I always thought that DC I'm geographically challenged. So I was like, well, DC's up there, like in the great Northeast. And it's basically the same latitude as St. Louis.
Yeah.
And we get your weather like 24 to 48 hours later.
Well, it's good weather to stop a shutdown, Nate.
Yeah. I really think, gosh, people who have tuned into this probably think that like I am some, I don't know, like rat for the Republican Party or something. But I because I bash Republicans all the time, but they are the most frustrating party. I really believe this. I give like some credit to these lunatics on the left because at least they have some, like they kind of believe in what they're doing. I think they're totally in the wrong, but at least they believe in what they're doing. And the right is just so misguided. They have all of these strong principles. They'll go campaign on, being fiscally conservative. And then they get into office and they're like the weakest human beings you could possibly imagine. Could you ever imagine a world? Have you ever heard a Republican campaign on the fact that we need to expand welfare, that we need to fund the government so that 42 million people can get their SNAP credits? I mean, that is what Republicans are doing right now. My hair is on fire. I'm really pissed off about it, actually.
This is what you just said is the exact reason why I won't call myself a Republican. I'm a MAGA conservative. I mean, that's what I am. I don't know what that means, but who knows? Common sense.
I am in complete agreement, man. I totally understand that. I am a conservative. I think that I have just like strong values, but there is not a bone in my body that speaks to your traditional Republican. And I think that is what, Donald Trump, when he campaigned in 2015, when he was on the debate stage with those 17 other clowns, what made him so appealing. And what frustrates me really about this current administration is that, like, I heard it again when he went on the Joe Rogans, when he went on the Theo Vons, when he went on these podcasts that the most coveted demographic listens to, 18 to under 40 years old, and he got them on board. And that's why he won the popular vote. And you're looking at the polls now and you're seeing that 18 to 40-year-olds are actually going away from the administration because the people that he has decided to put around him, the Pam Bondis, the Susie Wiles of the world, they're just they don't stand for what he is. And it feels like it's an admin that's been hijacked by the establishment. And I can't stand by it. So sorry if that costs me whatever appreciation from the Republican Party. You know what? Pound sand. I don't give a damn.
Have you had this conversation with Representative Burlison?
Yes, and he is on the same page. The problem is that you learn real quick that you're one of 435 up here, and it's difficult. It's very difficult to, I don't understand why Republicans, they know inherently what their party wants, what their base wants, and yet they refuse to do it. And I just don't understand it. They play a game of politics. So, well, we have to win the midterms. We might lose the midterms. Well, why are you going to lose the midterms? Well, because, we're getting bashed in the media that we're too MAGA. No, you won the election because people wanted to see action. They wanted to see the swamp drain. They wanted to see welfare programs given the boot. They wanted mass deportations. I could go on and on and on. They wanted the end of foreign wars. And yet, they just can't get out of their own way. It's almost comical, but it's our country, so it's not. It's really sad.
All right, Nate. Listen. You listening?
Yeah.
Listen to me. Ken and I have the solution, right? I know you guys are in DC, you're all connected, right? You're all in the swamp, all that stuff. But the answer to this whole thing couldn't be simpler in our minds, and that is be on the offensive. Okay, we've spent years, Republicans have spent years being on the defensive, and when a liberal like AOC or Rashida Tlaib or any of those people say anything, we have to defend ourselves. Well, we need to be a step ahead of that and play chess while they're playing checkers and be on the offensive, Nate.
I agree, Vic.
Well,
and
tell everybody
is on the offensive. I think he is on the offensive. The problem is that you have delegations from New York and California, the Mike Lawlers of the world, who really aren't MAGA, who are in their own words. You don't even have to go back that far to hear him be like, I am nothing like Trump. I don't want Trump. And yet he represents the Republican Party in New York delegation. And so what happens is that leadership, Mike Johnson, Steve Scalise, Whip Emmer, you name it, Lisa McClain, they placate towards the moderates because they want to keep their leadership positions. They want to be in the majority. So when it comes, it's a sick, cruel game where the constituents always lose. So it's this game of politics, right? And in the movie, with Ben Stiller and Robert De Niro. Goodness.
Meet the Fockers?
Meet the Fockers, yes, where he goes, this is the circle.
Yeah, circle of trust.
And you're here.
Right. He also says...
So the circle is the D.C. swamp, the D.C. politicians, the political game, and the taxpayer, the constituent, the average American, every American is on the outside of the bubble. And it's just gross. It almost makes me want to throw up every single day that I walk into that building. It really does.
And you mentioned the whole thing about SNAP and all that, 43 million people on it. I'm totally relating to what you're saying right now. I mean, I'm feeling the same frustration. I could throw up and thinking about it all the time too, Nate. And here's one problem that I have. Why don't they just have all the people that are on SNAP right now say, okay, you guys want to be on SNAP? Every 90 days, there's going to be a complete review of your standing. SNAP is not for permanency. It's supposed to be an uplifting thing, a thing where you get a hand up, if you're having trouble, not for an eternal cushion for the teat of the United States government. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So every 90 days, have them completely go into an office. You have to physically go into an office and reapply almost.
I agree, except you're too generous. I'll say every 9 days, and you need to show up. It's not a card that just gets reloaded, automatically.
I like that.
You show up and you make your case. You give an explanation as to what jobs you've interviewed for, what your hardships are, and then you get a cash check, or your debit card is loaded at the facility. This automation, the automation of welfare programs in America is really just an absolute disgrace. And the money that goes out the door. I mean, just to think, like, what conservative bone in a Republican's body can stand there with any conviction whatsoever and defend, well, the Schumer shutdown is going to cost 42 million Americans the opportunity to get food stamps. I mean, screw you. You should be using this shutdown as an opportunity to get rid of SNAP. And yet they won't do it because it's politically inconvenient, because their little pollsters at their Republican little tea parties are like, well, this is bad. This is really bad. We don't care if it's good or bad in the polls. We want what's right. And as soon as Republicans start getting on page with what's right, maybe they'll start winning and Democrats will truly be put to rest. But they won't, and so we'll keep playing this little game of football.
We're talking to Nate Lucas, who is the communications director for Eric Burlison.
I love it, Nate, by the way.
Does the representative have a blood
I'm pissed off, guys. I think you can probably hear it in my voice, and I'm just sick.
A little bit.
I just don't have the stomach to hear Mike Johnson and all these other weak-spined people go up there and say, we have to give 42 million people food stamps. I mean, literally, go F yourself. I'm not getting paid. There are thousands of federal employees that aren't getting paid, and that's fine. But then, don't tell me we need to reopen the government so that lazy-ass people can get their food stamps. Literally go to hell.
Yeah.
Does the representative have a blood pressure cuff in the office there that he can take your blood pressure? Yours is very high right now. No, it's great. I just don't want you to die of hypertension.
You know, every time I go to the doctor and they check my blood pressure, I always am like, how are those numbers? And they're like, oh, perfect.
Really?
You know, whatever over.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, oh, is that a good number? And I'm like, and I'm shocked every time because I just anticipate it being so far off the roof. But, you know, they say, and I have good genes with the Lucas heart. So knock on wood.
You know what else, guys? I get the same report from my doctor. He says, that's looking good. And you're not even taking medication. And you know why? Because I think we release, don't we, Nate? We say what we get it off our chest.
First of all, both of you are so stupid. Okay, let's start there, because your blood pressure doesn't maintain the whole way. When you're screaming at me, Ken, and you're screaming at me, both your blood pressures are going up. I'm telling you. Now listen, I want to review a little bit. Okay, did you write down the phrase "be on the offensive"? Did you write it down? Don't lie to me. Did you write it down?
I'm gonna get it tattooed on my forehead.
Okay. Because we can't let them win in that game, in that department. We have to be on the offensive, and we have to tell. You know what, Nate? I want you. Can you do me a favor, Ken? Can you send Nate the link to my my op-ed I did?
Yes,
I wrote an op-ed that Red State.
Red State, yeah.
Oh,
yep.
oh! Is it making its way around the hallways of DC?
He read it.
Make sure. Thank you, Nate. Make sure the representative reads it, because we got to stop them from saying that now, not until it gets worse, but now. That's part of being on the offense, right? So that's one thing. Moving away from MAGA. This is what people, I mean, are they stupid? I mean, how do you get elected and not realize that? Did I make you spit up coffee?
Yeah.
Oh, I did?
What do you think I was doing
I
over
didn't
there?
know that. That's fantastic. Okay. So
I'm wiping it off of everything here.
Fantastic.
Didn't get on the board though, Jeff.
So when you got elected, because you supported President Trump, you supported MAGA. Now that you got there, you think moving away from MAGA is a good idea because you don't have any balls to say what you really feel? Is that what they're doing, Nate?
Yep.
Guys, I think we are watching a fundamental effort to try to steer the Republican Party back to what it was prior to MAGA. And the problem with that is once the genie's out of the bottle, you can't stuff it back in. So once you introduce the idea that, a pretty simple phrase, make America great again, there are 5 core principles to that. And people jumped all over it because it was well, yeah, I mean, hell yeah, this is America. We should be promoting America first and America first policies. And that means stopping funding, queer elephant sex in Uganda. This means like no foreign wars. This means First Amendment, your right to say whatever the hell you want whenever you feel like it. And we're watching a effort, and I really do think you can look at some of the creatures who have slipped into the movement, and those are the Lindsey Grahams. I think Ted Cruz has sneakily made his way into it. The Tim Scotts. I think these people who have been in government for such a long time, they see an opportunity. All politicians see an opportunity, and they see Donald Trump as being around for 3 more years, and then MAGA is sort of whatever they can tailor it to be. The problem is that we don't want to go back to this establishment junk. We want to live our lives freely. We don't want to be told what to do. And that is completely contradictory to what most politicians want for you. They want to control you. They want to be able to tell you what's good for you. And then you really have no option. And I think Americans are just kind of like, no, I don't subscribe to that. You can buzz off.
I saw a post on X. The guy said, I was in my bedroom. I opened up my closet, and Lindsey Graham was in there. Okay, so what were you going to say, Ken?
I was just going to say, you got President Trump. He's running around the world making successful agreements and tariffs and all these good things that he's doing. He comes back home and he goes like, okay, what's been going on back here? That's what I feel like. But you got J.D. Vance, who's coming up, and he's got a lot to say about it, Vic.
Let's hear it.
All right.
I can believe that the United States should lower its levels of immigration in the future, while also respecting that there are people who have come here through lawful immigration pathways that have contributed to the country. But just because one person or 10 people or 100 people came in legally and contributed to the United States of America, does that mean that we're thereby committed to let in 1 million or 10 million or 100 million people a year in the future? No, that's not right. We cannot have an immigration policy where what was good for the country 50 or 60 years ago binds the country inevitably for the future. There's too many people who want to come to the United States of America, and my job as vice president is not to look out for the interests of the whole world. It's to look out for the people of the United States. Now,
Nate, what do you think?
Okay, well, it's funny. My sister sent me a text this morning. She lives in Chicago, and she sees in real time, ICE agents performing raids and picking up people. And she goes, it's really just kind of scary. And I responded, good. And she goes, yeah, but isn't there a better way to do this? Blah, blah, blah. I said, nope, it's good. And the reason that is because when you welcome tens of millions of illegal aliens who don't assimilate into your culture, A, you lose your culture, but B, they steal jobs from Americans. And so even once again, Republicans are like, well, we need legal immigration. It's like, no, we actually don't. We need lazy Americans who have been, basically emboldened to stay home from work and not go perform duties that they think they're above, to go to work. So if that means you don't get your EBT credit or you don't get your housing subsidy or whatever else, maybe it's time to go get a job. Imagine that. You wake up and you put a shirt on and you go get a job. And that's what it's going to take. And unfortunately, for all of these corporate greedy people, they're going to have to figure out a way to pay wages that are, what today's lifestyle looks like.
Yep.
And you're not going to, as long as you have H-1B visas and legal immigration, Americans are going to get screwed. And it's time for Americans to get back to work.
Always great, Nate. You talked about Meet the Parents when he says circle of trust, and then Greg's over here. Another important line from that movie is, I have nipples, Greg. Can you milk me?
Yeah, well, it's time for a lot of people to get off the government nipples.
There you go.
There you go. That's awesome.
All right, Nate. Be on the offensive. Tell the representative, be on the offensive.
It's the air raid. Let's go.
Okay.
Thanks, Nate.
Lucas, the one and only. Man, I love when he gets
See you,
revved
brother.
up. Everybody loves when he gets revved up. Am I right?
No, you are right.
All right, Porcelli's Deli is next. don't want to make it super sad. And just a guy that I used to work with died, and I want to talk about him, radio guy. And you realize, you know what? You realize how much you're loved after you're dead. Does that make sense?
That does, yes.
Because I was scrolling through Facebook yesterday. Every other post was about Pierre Robert. That's next on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Number one for live and local conservative talk and high blood pressure.
Like and subscribe to us on Rumble. News Talk STL. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show.
What else do we know about this population, 18 through 24? They are stupid. They make really bad decisions.
Oh, that woman got a mouth like an outboard motor all the time.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Craving the freshest in town? Anthony's Produce is your daily destination for nature's finest. For 28 years, we've been your trusted supplier for everything seasonal. It's homegrown apple season. Choose from many local varieties. Grab some caramel dip or try our made-in-house gourmet caramel apples. Fall decorating? We've got Hardy Mums, corn stalks, straw bales, pumpkins, gourds, Indian corn, and jumbo specialty pumpkins. Perfect for carving or pies. Plus seasoned firewood available for pickup or delivery. Open Monday through Saturday, 7 to 6:30 and Sundays, 8 to 5 on Jungerman Road or at anthonysproduce.com.
Connor Roofing. You can count on Connor. Connor Roofing is now a 2-time winner of the National Best of the Best Award for customer satisfaction for roofing, storm damage restoration, siding, gutters, both residential and commercial. Please visit ConnorRoofing.com for an estimate. And remember, you can count on Connor.
JC's Wayback Machine.
This week, I'll tell you why you shouldn't be upset about the ending of the new Netflix movie everybody's talking about, A House of Dynamite. The A-list interview is with Charlie Sheen's 2.5 Men co-star, John Cryer. And we'll supply you with a bunch of songs to set your clocks back by. It's all brought to you by the Weber Automotive Group.
It's JC's Wayback Machine. Every Saturday night, 6 to 9. On News Talk STL.
When precision matters, trust the experts who live and breathe firearms. Full Circle Reloading and Firearms. Veteran-owned and operated by competitive shooters who know what it takes to win. From reloading supplies and accessories to custom rifles and cutting-edge night vision, we've got everything you need. Plus, get precision rifle training from the pros. Full Circle Reloading and Firearms. 923 South 5th Street in St. Charles, or visit FullCircleReloading.com.
Colombo and Company.
A judge just ruled that Sheriff Montgomery can't really sheriff from behind bars. We'll fill you in on the latest Thursday with Mo Rep Justin Sparks, plus Virginia Cruda from the Daily Wire.
Live and local, weekdays at 2 on News Talk STL. Welcome to Porcelli's Deli.
Yes, very good. I'll have a Bloody Mary and a steak sandwich and a steak sandwich, please.
Over here.
Ketchup. Where's the ketchup at? I bet the Chinese food here is terrible.
With Vic Porcelli.
He's a very strange young man.
He's an idiot.
Porcelli's Deli is moved to 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Come on in. We're open. Have a seat. Vic will tell you a story.
All right, welcome to Porcelli's Deli. Today, I want someone to remember a guy I worked with many, many years ago. Not that closely that he's my best friend or anything like that, so I don't want to hear it. Okay, but we did work together, and not too closely together, but I knew him, he knew me. I was a part-time DJ at 93.3 WMMR in Philadelphia. So just a couple stories about the station itself, if you don't mind. Is that okay, Ken?
Oh, yeah.
First of all, they had a WNEW-FM in New York had this guy who was their voice guy. And, okay, this is like inside radio, inside dope, okay? At the top of every hour, like right at 11, right at 12, you have to say your call letters and your city of license.
Right.
By law, by FCC. So NEW New York used to have Charlie Kendall was the voice guy, and he would say, WNEW-FM, New York. And the windows in your car would rattle, you know?
Right.
So I get the job at MMR in Philadelphia. I take the train down there, and the first ID I hear is WMMR Philadelphia. It was just cool. It was a cool, fun station. It was a rock and roll station, and they were Beatles, Stones, Zeppelin, Who, that kind of station.
Yeah.
And they would have double shot Tuesdays and, block party weekends and stuff. And they would have something, sometimes we'd do Long Song Sunday, and we would just play long songs. And we finished it up with Intifada Davida by Iron Butterfly. Do you remember that song?
Yeah.
It was the whole side of the record, the whole side. Intifada Davida, honey. So when I went down there to work at MMR, I was so nervous because it was the number 5 market in the country at the time. So that's a super major market.
Yeah.
And here I am doing radio in it,
Yeah, right.
And I was really nervous. And the people there that worked there were very nice, very friendly, and Pierre Robert especially. So yesterday I'm talking to a friend of mine who I've talked about before. We've actually had his voice on the show, Mike Boyle. We were talking about something unrelated, completely unrelated. And he goes, "Oh my God, I just read that they found Pierre Robert dead at his home." And I was like, "Oh my God." So they did. They found Pierre dead at his home, kind of like the Abigail Polay story. And he was 70 years old, and he was, let me tell you, as far as being a guy on the radio, his voice was down here, 93.3 WMMR. It's time for Beatles breakfast, and was some workforce blocks later today. And he looked that way too. He had long hair, had a beard, and after a while, just like right on the chin was gray, and everything else was black. And he was just a guy who was loved by everybody in Philadelphia. He would call the people of Philadelphia the great citizens of Philadelphia. Now, MMR was at 19th and Walnut Street in Philadelphia. There was a park right at the back window of the studio. And the morning show, and a bunch of Italians on the station, by the way. John DeBella did mornings, Pierre, and then Joe Bonadonna did.
So maybe your name helped you get on there? Or?
What are you saying?
No, I'm just saying, Porcelli.
Be a shame if this Italian kid didn't get the job. You know what is funny about that, though? Mike Boyle, guy I was talking to yesterday, my hero, when I went down there for the interview, he coached me all the way to the point where I was on a payphone with him from 30th Street Station. And he goes, "I want you to go in there and exude confidence. I want you to walk in there like the job is yours." It's like, okay. So I walked.
Shut up.
I walked into his office, and Bonadonna says, "Do you have any idea how many people called me on your behalf for this job?" I said, "Oh, really?" And he hired me. So Joe Bonadonna did afternoons. Bubba John, who was Italian, did 6 to 10. And they all were good and crazy and fun. So you remember Grover Washington Jr.? Just the two of us.
Oh, yeah.
We can make it if you try. Just the two of us. Played saxophone. They brought Grover Washington Jr. to Rittenhouse Square. And if you played the saxophone, you were invited down to play.
Oh, my goodness. Are you serious?
And the entire city block, saxophone players. And they all played Just the Two of Us. And the event was called Group Sax.
I love that.
That's the kind of radio station it was. They had people come down, and this was all for charity, by the way, every time. And Pierre Robert was always behind the charity when they did things like this. They had this one thing where people had to run. It wasn't a mile. It was just a run. And they had to come down in their underwear, and it was the Undy 500. They just did wacky, fun things like that.
I love it.
So can I just tell one story about working there?
Yeah.
And this has, unfortunately, nothing to do with Pierre Robert, and I'll hear about it later when we have a meeting about this show. But that night, it was a Saturday. I worked 2 to 6 in the afternoon on Saturday at MMR. And that night, Paul McCartney was going to play at JFK Stadium. And it was a big deal, right?
Oh, yeah.
DeBella would give away tickets, and he made this girl sit on the phone for the entire show. And anytime he picked up the phone, she had to be going, na, 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 na. He said, "Check on Marianne, see if she's saying, na, 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 na." Okay, she's good. So I had to do my show. At my station, we had to do 6 shows a week. So I had already done 6 to 11 o'clock in the morning that morning at my station in Northwest New Jersey. So I already knew everything that happened on that day in rock history, right? They'd already done it. It was like cheating.
Right.
So I go down to MMR, and Joe Bonadonna and Earl Bailey are down at JFK, and they're sending back reports on what's going on and the excitement of JFK Stadium. Paul McCartney's coming. And Earl Bailey says, artists love to come and play here in Philadelphia. And at the end of his thing, I said, Earl, not only do artists love to play here, but they love to record here, because it was on this day in 1974 that David Bowie played at the Tower Theater, and that made David Live, the David Live album. And I played, like, you're supposed to play what's on the log, okay?
Yeah.
You're not supposed to play the live version. You're supposed to play the version on the log. So I did what I wanted. I played 1984 from David Live. And then the hotline rings.
Uh-oh.
And I'm like, oh, God, what did I do? Did I blow this job? Hi, studio. Joe's going, that was great. Play like 2 more songs from this album. Play whatever you want, And that was such a moment for me, Ken, because it was not in nothing against small market radio, but it was not Morristown, New Jersey. This was Philadelphia.
Well, then in Market 19, St. Louis at the time, the river was a nice transition then, because they used to let us get away with that occasionally on concert nights. And so you would probably have felt right at home, right?
After I got here.
After you got here. Yeah.
I was actually 17 when I got here. Market 17.
Was it?
Yep.
And
then it started falling right from there.
Right. Yeah.
So Pierre Robert, you find out how much you're loved after you're dead, unfortunately. Yesterday, I was scrolling through Facebook. Now, granted, I follow a lot of people, a lot of the friends I have on Facebook are radio people. Ken, I was scrolling. Every third post was about Pierre.
Yeah.
Sometimes 3, 4 in a row. In Philadelphia, they have an arena like our Enterprise Center. I don't know what it's called. It's called something sponsored. But they had a big picture of Pierre Robert on the side of the stadium.
That's cool. That's cool.
And everybody loved him. He loved everybody. He did a lot of charity organization. The Mummers Parade was his favorite thing down Market Street in Philadelphia. And he was always good to me. One day, only once, I got to fill in for Joe Bonadonna doing an afternoon drive during the week. And I was so nervous, Ken, I could have puked right there in the studio. That's how nervous I was. And Pierre says, don't worry. What are you doing? You're fine. You're good. Just be you. Be your funny self. Just do what you do every Saturday. And I said, thanks, Pierre. And it helped me just be me.
Yeah.
I wasn't being Bonadonna. I was being me, filling in for Bonadonna. It's a huge, huge day in my life, Ken.
Can you imagine what I was doing, filling in for Vic Porcelli all the time?
It's not the same.
It is the same.
It's not the same.
It is the exact same Vic. I'm on the river and I'm filling in for Vic, and I'm like, are you kidding me? And that was the same thing, Vic.
I appreciate it. So Pierre died. He was 70. And one thing he always said was, God bless the Grateful Dead. And that's how we'll close up Porcelli's Deli for Pierre Robert on News Talk STL.
Well, the first days are the hardest days, don't you worry anymore. 'Cause when life looks like easy street, there is danger at your door. Think this through with me. Let me know your mind. Whoa, what I want to know is, are you kind?
Have you ever been to a Starbucks, like inside, like if you go inside and there's like a big long line and you'll be waiting and they try to take your order before you're even to the front? Like you'll be in the back, they're like, what do you want? You're like, I would like to wait till I get right in front of you. Yeah, did you see how everybody looked at me when you said that? I didn't care for that. So how about we do it like a regular, normal business, and you let me do it right in front of you. Starbucks is like waving cars down on the street. Just be like, we're just trying to get your order started in case you ever come here one day.
The Vic Porcelli Show. Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Are built of cannonballs.
You have a radio. Download the all-new News Talk STL app.
Love the all-new Newstalk STL app.
On my way to work in the morning.
Usually in the car.
I listen on the app in my car every morning going to work.
Download the News Talk STL app and listen anytime, anywhere.
Remember those magical moments in Mom's kitchen? The heavenly aroma of fresh baked cookies? At Trolley Stop Bakery in Chesterfield's Forum Shopping Center, our co-op of talented bakers has been perfecting that homemade magic for 4 decades. From the gooeyest cookies in town to custom pies, cobbers, and cakes, everything's made from scratch, just like Mom and Grandma's recipes. Need that perfect corporate gift? We ship our famous cookies nationwide. The Trolley Stop Bakery, 67 Forum Shopping Center, or TrolleyStopBakery.com. Because some traditions are too sweet not to share.
Tim Jones and Chris Arps in the afternoon.
Brian Pichelle. He is the executive director of Dogs for Our Brave.
I've been very blessed to have incredible support in my life as I battled through my journey of coming back from Iraq and dealing with, PTSD and everything I saw and witnessed as a medic. Not all veterans have that type of support. And ultimately, that's why I say we are a gift of love. We are a gift. We want to be that beacon of hope.
Tim Jones and Chris Arps. Weekdays at 4 on News Talk STL.
Hi, Kirk Hilsinger here, and I'm the new chairman of the St. Louis Republican Central Committee. I invite you to our meetings that take place the first Thursday of every month at 3710 Hampton Avenue. You can stay connected with us to learn more about how you can get involved, make your voice heard, and contribute to our shared goals. Together, we can make a difference in the city of St. Louis and the state of Missouri. For more info, visit our new website at stl-gop.com. That's stl-gop.com.
Paid for by St. Louis City Republican PAC. Curtis Farber, Treasurer.
Fox News Commentary with Guy Benson, next.
When I started skiing, I didn't think about setting any records. When I won my first race, I didn't think about how many more I might win. So when I made it to the top of the world, it never crossed my mind to stop. Being the best isn't the same as being your best. There are no shortcuts to the top, so find the people who help get you there. I'm Michaela Schifrin, and that's what Team Stiefel means to me. If you're an advisor or an investor, choose Stiefel, where success meets success.
Stiefel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
Past performance is no indication of future results. Investing involves risk. Consult a financial advisor before making any investment decisions.
Here's Guy Benson.
I know it's not exactly the most exciting or sexiest topic to be yet again talking about the government shutdown, but to me it matters a lot, not just because the troops are in danger of not getting paid and people who are truly needy might run out of certain benefits to buy food for their kids, and there's all sorts of things that happen when a shutdown grinds on this long. It's bizarre to me that the Democrats are pretending like this is a Republican shutdown. The official talking point is it's the Republican Trump shutdown. They control the whole government, House, Senate, and presidency. Why can't they get the government open? And they all are lying, actually. There are some dum-dums who don't know how things work, and they prey on that. They prey on ignorance. But most of the people engaged in that messaging, especially at the elite congressional level, they all understand what the filibuster is. They understand it's their party doing the filibuster.
For more commentary like this, go to foxnewspodcast.com.
Whoosh.
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019.
Hi, this is Yakov Smirnov, and you're listening to Vic and Ken on Vic Porcelli Show on the Newstalk STL.
I love Bad Company.
I know.
Do what you do.
We opened for them in Vegas.
Shut up! Shut your face!
No, we did. Back in '89, I think.
Ken was a huge rock star.
No, we just opened for him.
You know who I opened for?
Who?
Nobody. Okay, so you're a rock star.
No.
We saw Bad Company. We had to drive all the way to Nassau Coliseum in Long Island because they didn't play at the Garden, and we drove all the way there. Neck drove. His name was Steve Rennie. For some reason, his nickname was called Neck. And he drove us there. And when I got there, Ken, I'll never forget the marquee said, coming up in a couple of weeks or whatever, Eric Clapton in Muddy Waters.
Oh.
I was like, this is cool.
So was it Nick the Neck?
No, his name was Steve Rennie.
Oh, I thought you said Nick for some reason. I don't know.
But his nickname was Neck.
Oh, Nick the Neck. Okay.
No Nick at all.
No, I know. Nickname.
Steve Rennie was Neck.
Right, Steve.
And Mark Mascherino was Rat.
Steve the Neck.
It sounded like it was our own little mafia thing. All right, enough of that. All right, so listen, guys and gals and everyone, we appreciate you, of course, greatly. I was on the couch talking to my wife. Oh, I'm sorry. Kathy from Harvard's on the phone. How are you?
Hey, how are you?
We're good. Good to hear from you. We thought you broke up with us.
Oh, no, never. I just get busy with work, you know.
The hell with work, Kathy. This is our radio show here, okay?
I listen to your radio show every day.
Thank you, baby. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Kathy.
What's on your mind?
Well, did you want to finish what you were about to say?
Oh, no, I don't want to keep you on the phone waiting for 17 minutes. No.
Okay. The blood pressure thing, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, but your wife probably does. But as you age, which there's nothing we can do about that, your blood pressure naturally goes up. I found that out when my mother was aging, and the doctor told us. So Google what foods are good for high blood pressure.
Google what?
What foods are good for
Google
high blood pressure?
blood pressure, correct.
Oh, blood
It will
pressure.
give you a-
Blood pressure.
I couldn't understand.
Make sure you
it. I'm
spell
sorry.
it right.
I said
Press.
it right, man. I said it right.
You said blood pressure.
You said
Hey,
pressure.
we
It's
saw
blood pressure.
we saw that in your car, which was parked in Harvard by the.
Parked in Harvard Yard.
So this makes so much sense because when I was young, growing up, my blood pressure was always so low. 110 over
Right.
60 was my blood pressure most of the time. And then years later, as you mentioned, I'm at the doctor's office, and the doctor takes my blood pressure, and it was 120 over 80. And I texted my wife in a panic. I said, my blood pressure's up to 120 over 80. She goes, relax. That's normal. You're getting old. Thanks a lot. Appreciate that.
So eating vegetables,
So-
fruits, and whole grains, including fat-free and low-fat dairy products, fish, poultry, beans, nuts, and vegetable oils for your blood pressure.
Does it give you a list of foods?
Yeah, he just read them off.
Yeah.
Because, see, I took from the list, I love blueberries and walnuts.
Oh, I do too.
So
I don't love them enough to eat them that much.
I have a
there's
bag.
whole
I have a
list
bag
there
of.
that you can.
I have a bag
Go
of
ahead.
walnuts at home that are shelled.
Yeah.
And they're
Yeah,
no
already
salt, nothing. They're just them.
Exactly. They're
Yeah.
just plain. I just pick up a big bag at Sam's Club.
Yeah.
So that I always have them on hand, and there's nothing in them. They're not salted. They're not roasted. It's just walnuts. And so I eat some with blueberries and share the blueberries with my dog because he loves them.
Sounds
good for dogs.
sounds very healthy, but honestly, Kathy, I think my body would reject it.
Well, like I said, take from that list what you like.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I experimented on myself. It works. My blood pressure's at a good rate for my age.
Mine is too, I'll have you know, young lady. And I eat a lot of garlic, a lot of olive oil, and I think that's
Yeah.
doing just fine.
Yeah, that's good too. You know, olive oil is good for lowering your cholesterol too.
I drink that every day.
You drink olive oil?
Oh yeah. No.
Do you crack raw eggs like Rocky and drink those?
No.
Phew.
But I do actually.
Ew,
I
that's
take
gross.
a full shot
Of olive oil.
of olive oil every day. Yeah.
What's the matter with me? All right, Kathy,
yeah.
we got to run. I'm so
I
sorry.
just do 2 tablespoons. Okay, you guys have a great day, but you can pass that on to
Will
Nate
do.
too.
Will do. Thank you. So both of you guys are drinking olive oil.
Well, thank you, Kathy. Bye.
The hell am I-
And I'll keep my
Love you guys.
Love you too,
my
Kathy.
blood pressure
Have a
down.
great day.
See you, Kathy.
Okay. So I wrote this piece, right?
Right.
Because my wife and I were on the couch one night, and I said, I was giving her we got to be on the offensive thing. you know?
Right.
And I'm sick of hearing people say that Trump is a Nazi. I'm sorry, something just popped in my head. May I say it has nothing to do with this? Michael Moore, you know, that fat slob that makes.
Oh yeah.
He says, what if you deport someone what if you deport a kid who will grow up to cure cancer or, you know, some medical breakthrough? I'm like, what about all the kids you abort? Won't they grow up to be doctors and cure cancer?
It's a great point. There are a lot more of those.
All right. So my piece is called Where Are the Gas Chambers? And I believe I bitched about this on the air, Ken.
You did.
Trump is Hitler, Republican Party are Nazis, ISIS is the Gestapo. These are the things we hear about Donald Trump and the Republicans from the loony left, right? So the Democrats are supposed to be this all-loving party, aren't they? Or they used to be? Or...
No, that's what they say.
Right, but exactly. That's what they say. But don't they realize when they say that somebody that's listening to them say that could have their numbers still tattooed on their arm, you know?
Right.
Because when you got there, they tattooed a number on your arm. And you find anybody who was a prisoner in Auschwitz or Dachau or any Buchenwald, they'll still have the. I mean, you can't get rid of a tattoo.
You could, but they don't on purpose. To
show
remember.
badge of honor,
right?
So there's people who've got that, who are listening to you say that Trump is a Nazi. I mean, they're just ridiculous. So my thing always is, if this is happening. Because they say, oh, this is 1933. I can see it now. It's 1933 Germany coming again, and Trump's going to be Hitler.
Right.
They say that.
Yes.
Well, that's not happening, okay? That's why I called the piece, Where Are the Gas Chambers, okay? Because the illegals who are here in this country are sent home to their country. Back then, the Jews were sent to the gas chamber. Big difference, okay? So shut up about it now. So...
And I think your reference that originally was Alcatraz, alligator Alcatraz. They were calling it alligator Auschwitz,
right?
And it really angered you.
Yeah, because where are the gas chambers?
Yeah,
where are the firing squads? So, thank you all very much, by the way, for the kind words about it. Appreciate it. So, someone named Nathan Falcone responded to my little piece. Ken, can I read Nathan's thing?
Yeah.
He says, literally, the only politician calling him Hitler was his own VP. So that's not true right there, because AOC has done it. Pritzker has done it. Waltz has done it. A ton of politicians have called him Hitler.
Many.
But let's go into the non-political people. I don't mean to say non-political people who aren't in politics, comedians, celebrities calling him Hitler and everything. In reality, every liberal's darkest predictions were a massive underestimation. Think about that. He thinks he's being so John Steinbeck here. I want to read it again. Every liberal's darkest predictions were a massive underestimation. So when the liberals were saying he's a Nazi, that he's worse than what they were saying. So he must have gas chambers somewhere. Maybe it's going to be in the new wing, in the new ballroom. The gas chambers will be over there, or the firing squads will be on the west wing.
So I had a similar conversation with somebody online, on X, and I said, where's the proof? I mean, I all I want you to do is just give me some proof, big shot, Mr. Expert, and let's see what it's all about here. And I'll agree with you if you can give me some proof. You know what I got? I'm an idiot.
Let me clear this up. Nathan wants to clear this up.
Okay, good. Good. The expert, yeah, good.
If you have masked men with complete immunity rounding up people based on color and literal thought crimes, claiming they don't deserve due process, sending them to a camp in which nobody leaves. Is this guy blind? Did he read in Braille?
God, he's so dumb.
Honestly, while also demanding complete capitulation of the media, while also facilitating the modern day Holocaust. You are the closest to a Nazi as it gets. I am.
Vic, and do you know why the left and Falcone are the fascists? Do you know why they are?
Tell me, Ken.
Here's proof, because he just announced it. He's talking about masked people, unnamed people. Do you know why they're masked? The only reason why?
Safety.
You have such a fascist Democrat Party and left-leaning individuals who want to hurt people, want to kill MAGA people just for seeing their face. So what they're doing is that in order to avoid getting doxxed and being under threat with their families' lives by the Democrat Party, Falcone, they're masking themselves up only because of your fascist party.
Then he finishes by saying, I can find 5 articles written this week that spread the same propaganda verbatim. I guarantee you that is a lie.
That is a lie.
I
want to see it. I want to, let's get it. You know where we are online. Let's see it. Let's see it.
Can any Zionists have a single unique thought? First of all, you know why this pisses me off too? My relatives on my father's side, his mother, my grandma was a Falcone, and a lot of my relatives were Falcones, and you're disgracing the name of my family here by being so stupid. So,
no, he's a Democrat. He's probably lying about his name too.
The people are not being sent to a camp. Where's your proof of that? They're being sent back to their countries.
Right.
The Jews were sent to the gas chambers.
Where are the gas chambers?
They're not anywhere, Ken. They send them to a camp in which nobody leaves. Okay. So a lot of people are putting up this quote from Anne Frank saying, yeah, people are out there, some of them naked, and they're thrown into trucks and they're never to be seen again. That's fine. That's what happened back then. That's not happening now.
No.
It's not what's happening now. The only reason it looks violent is because of the protesters making it violent.
Yeah, and it's not a pretty thing. Okay, if you've got an illegal alien walking down the street and 4 masked men come up to that person, who they should be, by the way, taking that person and incarcerating them, putting them, they take them and they put them in a vehicle, it's not going to be pretty, okay? But it needs to happen because over 20 million of these people are here, and they shouldn't be.
According to Nathan Falcone, we are facilitating a modern-day Holocaust. How many millions of these illegal aliens have we murdered? Do you know?
Not a one.
See.
In fact, it's a shame, but one of those fascist Democrats who was for the Democrat Party, in fact, I think he was a trans, shot and killed 2 illegal aliens sitting in a car trying to shoot an ICE agent. You remember that? That was recent.
Yeah. So listen, Nathan. There was something. Okay, can I go back to my piece here for a sec?
Yeah.
Because there's one thing in it I'd like to reiterate, and that is that there's a dichotomy going on here, okay? The left either doesn't do their research before they speak, or they're just flat out lying. Neither are okay.
Neither are okay, but I believe it's the latter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
No.
Because the latter, so you're saying flat out lying?
Oh, yeah. They know.
Do you think they do any research before they speak?
No, well, actually, both are true.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, both are true.
That's exactly
and both are
what I'm saying. Neither is okay.
You're right.
They either don't do any research, like Bill Maher, never heard Hillary Clinton call President Trump an illegitimate president.
And I just want to say, Falcone, I don't know your first name. I don't care.
It's Nathan.
You know, TDS is a terrible thing. It's really, it's a bad thing.
It is.
And what you can do, actually, well, there are things that you can do, right, Vic?
Is there medication you can take, though?
There actually is. And I would just like to, I'm going to help him just a little bit. Libs and never Trumpers. Do you wake up every morning to the ringing of Trump's voice in your head? You may suffer from moderate to severe Trump derangement syndrome, or TDS. There is hope. New MAGA Strength Trumpanol. Magadonian approved.
I had it really bad, so I take the Ultra MAGA Trumpanol with extra Kofifi. And now, instead of calling him criminal, I kind of like the bastard.
Side effects may include the desire to become pro-life, question the media, defund Ukraine, support Israel, wave the American flag, close the border. Ask your doctor if Trumpanol is right for you. Make yourself great again with new Trumpanol.
I think they got it at like CVS and Walgreens.
I think it's available at Genovese drugstores.
And they have suppositories too, just for him.
Just for you, Nathan. Most people take it orally. You stick one up your. Okay. So I got you. So I don't understand what's not to understand in my little editorial here. You know, there's nobody getting put on a train and sent to a concentration camp or a death camp. Nowhere.
I want to congratulate you, Vic, and not only for this really good article, a good op-ed, but because when you attract these people, that means you did something.
Oh,
that means you're over the target, Vic.
Oh,
that's a common thing that I go through. I like this because on social media, when it happens, I go, "Ooh, this is good." So there, congratulations, Vic.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. See, Ken's been in this business a long time, and he knows what's what. So, please read my thing, not for me, for the families of people who were killed during World War II. Okay, just read it. Think about that tattoo on their arm. They even if they were kids, they got that tattoo.
Stop calling anyone a Nazi. Stop it.
Stop it now, Nathan Falcone. Glad we made you famous today. All right, 3-hour tour. Third hour's next.
This December 13th, join Wreaths Across America at Belle Reve Garden Cemetery as we remember the fallen, honor those who serve, and teach our children the value of freedom. Help us lay remembrance wreaths on the graves of our fallen heroes. Sponsor a wreath, volunteer, or bring your family to this meaningful tribute to our veterans, because every hero deserves to be remembered. Learn more and sponsor a wreath. Visit NewstalkSTL.com.
Jeffco Patriot Radio.
Hey guys, Jefferson County Councilman Billy Crow here from Jeffco Patriot Radio. On behalf of Tim Jones and I just want to thank you for making Jeffco Patriot Radio the #1 listened to show on Sundays here on News Talk STL, where we dive into all the things happening in and around Jefferson County. Check Tim Jones and I out on Jeffco Patriot Radio this and every Sunday at high noon here on 101.9, 94.1 News Talk STL.
Jeffco Patriot Radio.
I'm Missouri Attorney General Catherine Hanaway. When severe weather hits, scammers often follow. They may pose as charities, jack up prices on essentials, or offer fraudulent home repairs. I'm committed to protecting Missourians from those scams. If you've been targeted or suspect price gouging, report it to our office at 800-392-8222 or online at ago.mo.gov.
Paid for by the Missouri Attorney General's Office.
KLDY HD3 Clay, K270BW Bellefontaine, KNVS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 101.9, 94.1, and always streaming at NewstalkSTL.com.
Breaking news this hour at Town Hall. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. The Senate Majority Leader, John Thune, is opposing an attempt by Senate Democrats to reopen the government bit by bit.
This bill is a cynical attempt to provide political cover for Democrats to allow them to carry on their government shutdown even longer. And we're not going to let them pick winners and losers. It's time to fund everybody.
The shutdown now into day 29, no sign of a compromise. Correspondent Karen Chamis has more with people outside of the Louvre, catching up on the latest in the investigation on that major theft.
5 more people have been arrested in the investigation into the theft of crown jewels from the Louvre Museum. One is suspected of being part of the 4-person team that robbed the Louvre's Apollo Gallery in broad daylight on the 19th of October, according to the prosecutor. 2 other members of the team were arrested on Sunday and given preliminary charges of criminal conspiracy and theft committed by an organized gang. Both partially admitted their involvement, according to the prosecutor. It took the thieves less than 8 minutes to steal the jewels, valued at $102 million, shocking the world. I'm Karen Chamas.
A federal appeals court has struck down a lower judge's attempt to bridle the work of Border Patrol agents in Chicago.
On Tuesday, U.S. District Judge Sarah Ellis ordered U.S. Customs and Border Patrol Chief Patrol Agent Gregory Bavino to give her daily briefings on immigration operations being conducted in Chicago, an unprecedented bid to impose real-time oversight on the Trump administration's immigration crackdown. But before Bavino's first meeting with Ellis Wednesday, the 7th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals stepped in and blocked her order. The Department of Homeland Security called Ellis's order judicial overreach. The sweeps have resulted in more than 1,800 arrests. I'm Ben Thomas.
More on these stories at townhall.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-583-0141. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-583-0141. That's 800-583-0141. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
This hour of News Talk STL is brought to you by Stifel, serving investors for over 130 years. Contact your Stifel financial advisor at stifel.com. That's STIFEL.com.
Public schools, like public libraries, should be free and open to all.
Open enrollment allows parents to choose the school that's the best fit for their children. Maybe another school has a wider curriculum, is bigger or smaller. Maybe a kid is being bullied and would be more comfortable at another school. 75% of parents favor open enrollment. Open enrollment programs now exist in 43 states, and Missouri should join them. Our next-door neighbor, Kansas, has one of the strongest open enrollment policies in the nation. Kansas parents are trusted with choices and options, while Missouri parents must move out of their home to change public schools. And it's a trend. Nationwide, the percentage of students going to their chosen public school has steadily increased. Assigning kids to schools based on their zip code is the old way. Open enrollment is a better way. Learn more at showmeinstitute.org. The Show Me Minute has been brought to you by Show Me Institute and Show Me Opportunity.
Hi, I'm Mark Sutherland, founder of Stone Ledge Distillery, and I'd like to give you a bottle of Stolock whiskey or Inversion vodka. Enter now at stoneledgedistillery.com/win. Come experience our tasting room in historic Defiance. Enjoy Stolock whiskey, Inversion vodka, and other Missouri-made spirits, wine, and craft beer in our beautiful cocktail lounge, cigar room, or out on the patio with live music every weekend. Don't forget, win a bottle of Stolock or Inversion at stoneledgedistillery.com/win. Come raise a glass in Defiance.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by the Trolley Stop Bakery, the official bakery of the Vic Porcelli Show. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show.
For a 3-hour tour, a 3-hour tour. The weather started getting rough.
We squeeze in a dry hump day under partly sunny skies.
From New Jersey to Baldwin, Missouri, two behind the microphone, taking the whoosh to the radical left and the putrid swamp. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show. Here he is, Vic Porcelli.
All right, hour 3 of our 3-hour tour, ready to roll. Chat box coming up at 11:41. I also want to talk about at 11:25, Ken, a senator that is making a lot of sense. A Democrat senator.
What?
Okay. That's making a lot of sense.
All right.
Maybe the rest of them should listen to him.
Right.
All right. Right now, though, let's talk to Tim Nerozzi, foreign affairs correspondent for the Washington Examiner. We love the Washington Examiner. Tim, thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
That's an Italian name, right? You're Italian, right?
It is. Yeah.
All right, that's good. We only allow Italians on this show. I just want to say.
You don't.
I thought we did.
No.
All right. So yesterday, President Trump and President Xi met at what looked like an IHOP to me. I don't know what that building was, but the roof was blue. What really came out of that? Because how much can we trust what President Xi says, even if it's in a one-on-one summit with President Trump?
So in terms of what came out of it, there was a framework deal already hashed out in Malaysia leading up to that summit. And this meeting between Trump and Xi was really, I don't want to call it ceremonial or symbolic, because it was more than that, but it was a lot of the agreements that we saw come out, yesterday or from this meeting. They were already agreed to ahead of time, but this was more of a tone setting, sort of feeling each other out type of interaction. This is the first time that Trump has met in person with Xi since his second administration began. Obviously, it's been a tough time for U.S.-China relations due to, various economic policies that Trump has put forward trying to curb Chinese influence. And the takeaway from the meeting in particular, to me, as just an observer, is that they are at least trying to put on a happy face with each other, and they are trying to walk into the next year with a sense of sort of, I don't want to say begrudging, but the statements from both the Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs and from Trump himself on social media indicate a sort of positive tone, certainly more positive than we've seen from Trump in past months, where he's been rather aggressive towards the Chinese. A lot of revelations from this. You had apparently Trump wants to go on a state visit to China next year. He invited Xi to come to the White House, which to me that detail stood out as a seemingly genuine and tangible gesture of goodwill between the two of them. So yeah, I don't want to use the term symbolic or ceremonial, because things did get done, but I think mostly it was about tone setting.
Yeah, Tim, I totally agree with that. And one thing, I just enjoyed the fact that President Trump walked out there with Xi, and they shook hands, and they were, no one was trying to upstage the other. And I want to ask you, do you recall how many times Joe Biden met with him?
How many times? I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
I think it was none. I don't recall any time that they really met themselves together.
I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to call back. Everything pre-Trump kind of feels like 100 years ago now.
Right.
But I mean, let's be clear. Biden did have communications with Xi, even if he never met with him in person. Not that I can remember off the top of my head. But there was communications, and the presidency of China is one of the most powerful positions on earth. It's often said that the presidency of America is the leader of the free world. I think China wants the president is actually not the proper term. It's paramount leader. It's a lot more complicated. You have to hold several different offices at the same time, whatever. But that sort of paramount leader position, I think China wants it to be, starting to rival the American presidency in terms of prestige and power and influence. So yeah, it's a delicate line to walk right now, and has been for quite some time, of trying to project confidence in the American project and confidence in American influence and strength, while also not intentionally causing rifts with the Chinese. It's very delicate.
And Tim, I was just being a little facetious with you. He met with him like 3 times, and the whole point of this is they didn't do it out in public as much as they did this one meeting with President Trump. It was that's the whole idea, is they brought it out in front of everybody, and they said, look, Donald Trump and Xi, they're really actual trying to make things happen, and it's more than symbolic, like you said.
Yeah, I mean, I think Trump, symbolic, I think I would have used that term maybe in other circumstances, but I think with Trump, a lot of symbolism is concrete, and a lot of symbolism is practical and actually goes beyond ceremonial. Trump is a pretty unilateral leader. He has sort of taken over the reins of foreign affairs and foreign diplomacy in a way that a lot of presidents haven't. When he came into office, you immediately saw this transition of the White House into sort of a revolving door of world leaders that were coming to Trump, not Trump going to them and not meeting on the sidelines of a summit typically, but a lot of these world leaders coming to the United States to talk directly with Trump, and him sort of sizing them up, telling them exactly the problems that he has with their country, the ways that he thinks that the United States can work together with them, and turning it into sort of almost like a king's court almost. And yeah. I think that Xi is one of those few leaders that has the I don't want to say pomp. He has the gravitas that doesn't necessarily fly with the Chinese. And so it's interesting seeing moving forward how Trump will interact with Xi and the CCP, whether this new era of like tepid friendship can hold. And certainly a state visit would be, very interesting to observe.
All right. So in reading the little piece that you send out, before you do interviews, you taught me a word, hegemony, I never heard of before today. And hegemony?
Yeah.
Okay. So I've learned now that means the dominance of one group over others. Let's just leave it at that. So she and China are signaling growing confidence that's eroding U.S. hegemony, while the Uyghurs have their head shaved, and who knows what's happening to them.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is so. Yeah, what I was getting at with that word and that sentence is that China has been very explicit that they see the future as a multipolar world, and a multipolar world is one in which multiple superpowers are sort of jostling for influence, and it could be harmonious hypothetically, or it could be hostile. But a multipolar world, kind of imagine a Cold War scenario, right, where you have at the height of the Soviet Union, Soviet influence, they were contending with America for power in a global sense, and that I think is pretty clear that that's what China wants, is a multipolar world where U.S. hegemony is no longer taken for granted, and countries that might default to siding with America in the current day just because of our power, they want to put themselves forward as, hey, you know, if you don't like the way that the U.S. is doing things, if you don't like the way that Washington is making policy or treating you, why don't you come over and work with us? That's the mentality behind a lot of their international posturing. The Belt and Road Initiative, which is a sort of international infrastructure project that is aimed at bringing third world countries and sort of smaller, weaker countries into the Chinese sphere by giving them infrastructure and helping them sort of build out their domestic economy and their domestic manufacturing while kind of aligning them and integrating into that country. So, yeah, I mean, this is sort of seen as the global struggle of our times, is rising China, declining U.S. And the question is whether the U.S. can stop its decline and reverse course, or if the Chinese will hit a sudden sort of economic bomb and their rise will be staggered. So, I mean, that's really, if you're talking grand geopolitical trends and narratives, that's really where we're at.
So I'm confused because, first of all, I saw a guy last night say, whatever Xi Jinping says, don't believe him. Nothing he says is honest or truthful. And America's unipolar dominance, isn't China the one that's after unipolar dominance, or I've not been paying attention?
I don't know that China can be after unipolar dominance right now. They're certainly strong. They're certainly, you know, worth considering as the second most powerful country in the world at the moment. But in terms of military might, even in terms of, you know, economic soft power, anything like that, they still are not close to completely overtaking the United States. So, I mean, I guess you could say that in a certain sense, every major power in the world would love to be a unipolar power. I think Russia would love to be the hegemon of the world. The United States currently is. China probably would love to be so, but I don't know that that's like their current goal, because it's just too far off in the future. There's too much that would have to change for China's power to reach that level. In terms of believing what Xi Jinping says, I think it's maybe a little too simplistic to say that he always lies. I think that a good way of understanding Xi Jinping is in terms of how the Chinese Communist Party likes to communicate, and that's all the way from Xi Jinping down to even, you know, like some regional middle manager of the party in some podunk province of China. They talk in a very stilted, I'm talking about official correspondence here, and policy positions. They talk in a very stilted way that kind of comes across as strange to Americans reading translations, where they say something along the lines of, let me think here, like, China affirms the proactive engagement in positive relations with foreign powers and commits thusly to participating in multilateral meetings. It's like, it's mixing like corporate speak with like moralistic speak. It's very strange. Whenever I read Chinese or English translations of Chinese documents, it can be quite difficult. But I again, lying is, I mean, I'm sure Xi Jinping, you can say, has lied about a lot. I think it's more about like cautious sort of double speak language that I would characterize it as.
All right. Well, something caused COVID. I don't know what you want to call it, but they caused COVID. So we're talking about international hegemony, right? But isn't there a domestic hegemony? And aren't they doing that to the Uyghurs? I hate to keep bringing them up, but nobody talks about them, and they all have their head shaved, and they've all been put on trains, like what the left is saying that Trump is doing to illegal immigrants, which they're not, but China is. Do you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah, absolutely. And so, yeah, what you're talking about is sort of Chinese regional expansionism, right? So that's China as like a state, like a nation state, has changed dramatically over the course of its history. I mean, it's thousands of years old, and it's kind of, you know, the current Chinese communist China is a far cry from a lot of, you know, of the previous Chinese states. But what you're kind of referring to here with the Uyghurs, or if you remember, it's kind of fallen out of vogue, but the Free Tibet movement, do you remember when everyone really cared about the Dalai Lama in Tibet? this is the same sort of concept, which is that China sort of exerts influence over these regional territories that claim, either separation or autonomy or some sort of special status of, no, we are not Chinese, we are Uyghur, or we are not Chinese, we are Tibetan. And China says, no, you are Chinese and you are going to learn how to be Chinese. And you saw this in Tibet with the sort of mass execution of a lot of like Buddhist leaders that were, the religious leaders and the political leaders were the same thing in pre-Chinese Tibet. And with the Uyghurs, you see it with, sort of these re-education camps. They teach them Mandarin Chinese, and they teach them how to speak Chinese, and they teach them how to think like a CCP subject. And they try to de-emphasize their Islamic heritage, their sort of like Middle Eastern influences, and they see it as quelling sort of internal unrest and internal division. Whereas the Uyghurs will tell you, no, we're being rounded up and put into these re-education camps. We're not Chinese, and they're trying to force us to be. That's what's happening there.
We're talking with Tim Nerozzi. He's the foreign affairs correspondent with the Washington Examiner. Tim, here's what I'm thinking. When they hear about China, they think, oh, it's so big and it's so powerful, and I don't know enough about it, so that's where my go-to is. But in reality, the international currency standard is the dollar, and what they were trying to do with China getting together with Russia was to minimize that dollar, weren't they? I mean, they can't actually defeat the United States face to face. So what they've always been trying to do is do it by undermining certain aspects of America in order to get the upper hand, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously they're trying to undermine American influence and American power. I mean, that's just geopolitics, I mean, whether it's the Cold War, the Communist Revolution, World War I, World War II, it's all about undermining each other's power. I think that, yeah, what you said is true, that China, as we've talked about, cannot stand up to America one-on-one on the global stage alone. However, it is worth pointing out that we are, our military far surpasses any foreign military. In that front, America remains quite secure. But, Secretary of War now, Pete Hegseth, has made clear that he finds the current state of the U.S. military concerning, that we've lost sort of a warrior mindset, a warrior ethos, that standards have slipped, that, general training is not up to par with what it should be. So that signals from inside of the United States that maybe things are not quite as comprehensively taken care of as we like to believe. And, China, as just sheer manpower and sort of sheer manufacturing output, sheer production, they are not even a one-on-one. I mean, America can't, bully China around. It would be a serious conflict. I think most people would tell you that America would win, 99 times out of 100 or whatever. I'm not a military analyst, so I'm speaking sort of just from my own perspective on this. But I think, it's war with China or the Chinese threat is not something that you want to downplay. And the White House has made that clear. Everyone from Pete Hegseth to J.D. Vance to Trump himself have signaled a growing concern, Going back to what I said before, the grand narrative of geopolitics right now is China ascending, United States, sort of descending, United States sort of losing its power and its luster. And obviously everyone has different ideas of how they want that to play out. And by no means are these trends carved into stone or even able to be projected in multiple years ahead. But that's just the current scenario: China up, America down, and it's concerning for anyone in the United States, exciting for China.
Right. It's also concerning. Do either of you know what the current defense condition is? DEFCON 3.
Is it?
Yeah, that's pretty close. That's closer to 1 than it is to 5 in my head.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And that's exactly what we're talking about here, Tim, isn't it?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it is. I think a lot of people see parallels with sort of the beginnings of the Cold War in terms of just a rival power on the other side of the world that has amassed a large sphere of influence through international outreach and sort of pushing a ideology that does fundamentally butt heads with American concepts of global politics. And China is not bashful about not really playing by the rules and not really caring about America or Western European nations' concepts of how international politics is done. I think that if anything, Trump is a wake-up call. His second term seems to be a direct rebuke of Western geopolitics as they were before this administration, because he's been quite clear about. He also is now not willing to just play by the rules because he sees American decline. Again, I'm speculating here, but just going off of what he said, I don't think it takes a lot of logical leaps to get at the idea that he just sees, sort of polite, bureaucratic, United Nations style politics as having led to American decline.
Yep.
He absolutely rebuked the United Nations to their face in New York, and he's talked about the need for more aggressive posturing. And I think ultimately that is his mentality on how to confront China, is to stop worrying about bureaucracy, stop worrying about niceties and institutions and structures, and just, get down to brass tacks, which is military might and geopolitical muscle.
I'm all for it. Tim Nerozzi, he is a foreign affairs correspondent for the Washington Examiner. Great stuff, Tim. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Our pleasure.
Take it, Tim.
DEFCON 3.
Yeah. And that was one of my points, is that, China has a lot to lose here too. It's not just a thing where we're trying to make friends with them. They're trying to make friends with Trump.
Tim even said, the United States superior militarily.
Right.
On the whole world.
Yeah, it's not. And here's another point that I think someone brought up to me, is that it's not just the U.S. against China. It's the U.S. and all the other countries that are against the policies of China. So it's everybody. It's not just us against him.
Any country that's not communist,
right,
should be against China.
Exactly right.
All right. That was a great conversation. I like
it.
It
Really was.
Italian,
Italian.
So there's a Democrat senator making a whole lot of sense, Ken. Hear him
Okay.
next on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
Watch us on our live stream using Rumble, Facebook, and Twitter. The Vic Porcelli Show.
As President Lincoln said,
what, do you have a cough due to cold? Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
So Chris Cooper at Serenity Wealth Management, he's moving into our territory here, Ken. Can you keep an eye on him?
Oh, yeah.
Next thing you know, it's going to be like, 9 to noon with Chris Cooper. Hey, how you doing? But Chris he's such a great guy. And he's got a way to explain things to you about a subject that you might not be so open to talk about. Not everybody that walks into even Chris's place, Serenity Wealth Management, is saying, hey, let's talk about my finances. I doubt that happens. But people are like, okay, can I have some pretzels? They're making me thirsty. That's the Seinfeld reference. But Chris has a way to soften everything and let you know what's going on, what kind of money you need to have the retirement that you deserve. You worked your whole life, for God's sakes. Get the retirement you deserve. And here's what we do. Okay, here's what you do. Get familiar with Chris Cooper. Get his book called The New Holistic Retirement. Great way to start. You can get it for free at serenitynowtax.com and listen to Chris's show every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock, right before our show.
Right.
And it's called Serenity Wealth Now.
With Fun with Finance.
No, it's not.
Complete with Fun with Finance.
Shut your face.
No.
So tune in Sunday morning at 9 on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Serenity Now, Chris Cooper.
Investment advice offered through Fortis Capital Advisors.
Serenity Now.
And then the media.
101.9 and 94.1.
They lying about what's going on in America. They lying about it.
News Talk STL.
This is Larry Connors, and my favorite sandwich at Capriati's is a Philly cheesesteak with peppers, sweet peppers, but sometimes hot peppers. I love Capriati's, and so will you.
Open 9 to 9 daily on Manchester at McKnight in Rock Hill.
I'm Dr. TJ, owner of the Institute of Natural Health, co-owner of Optimal Nutraceuticals, and the host of Wellness One. Wellness One is designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you common sense science-based information regarding health and wellness. On the show, we discuss topics like thyroid health, gut health, hormone optimization, and many others. Our show airs Saturdays at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. and Sundays at 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. right here on NewstalkSTL. And you can visit us at inhstl.com. That's inhstl.com.
Concerned about the condition of your windows driving up your energy bills? I was too. It's only called STL Windows and Doors. Their Provia windows combine old world craftsmanship the professional way, the Provia way, with over 65 years of combined experience, locally owned, offering competitive pricing and personalized service that the big box companies can't match. Call today for your free in-home estimate and start saving tomorrow. 314-277-5952 or stlwindowsanddoors.com.
Tim Jones and Chris Arps in the afternoon.
Kate Monroe.
I was in the Marine Corps. I don't think people really understand that the National Guard is essentially your neighbors. I mean, this would be like your house is on fire and all the great men and women on your block that are capable of helping you put out said fire, you call the police on them and then let your house burn down. That is essentially what these cities are doing because Orange Man wants to send people to help us. We're going to go ahead and let it just burn down.
Tim Jones and Chris Arps, weekdays at 4 on News Talk STL.
Hey, Columbo here for Rockwood Charcoal. Rockwood is made from 100% pure Missouri oak and hickory, so you're cooking with the best and supporting local industry and a local business all at once. There's over 100 area Rockwood retailers. Find yours at rockwoodcharcoal.com.
We talk about race relations.
This conversation has completely made me crazy.
This is complete insanity. And I'm sick and tired of it.
1019 and 94.1.
I find it to be a conversation starter.
News Talk STL.
Whoosh.
The Vic Porcelli Show. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019.
But they're really criticizing science because I represent science.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
See, I waited that time.
You did.
I was smart. I waited.
Good move there.
I knew it was coming.
You
knew the vocal was coming. All right. So, if this were a one of those National Geographic shows, right? The voice would be very soft, probably British accent. Today we find the very rare Democrat senator with some common sense. Oh, here's one now, right in the bushes. If you look closely and listen closely, you can hear him say some things that Democrat senators don't normally say.
I also got a chance to watch Erica Kirk, and how heroic that is, and the courage to after her happened to her husband as a widow to be able to get on that stage. Regardless, whatever your political views are, you absolutely have to celebrate and applaud her for the kind of courage to do that now.
I've never heard a Democrat say anything nicer about a Republican in my whole life.
It's so odd that a human being can say, how can you possibly say anything? Don't say anything good about this person. You're humanizing them, and we want to dehumanize them.
John Fetterman is a human.
But what they're saying is, though, Vic, is that nobody should be talking about the Kirks or anybody else that they dislike and make them human.
So let's talk about the Kirks. I watched all that TPUSA event last night, or at least whatever they put on television. And it started with Erica. And Ken, I don't know how she's doing it. I just don't know how she's doing it. She's speaking to crowds of young kids. You know, we've seen her get emotional before. We've seen her get emotional and sob a little bit and then go right to a smile. I'm okay. Here's my big smile. You know?
Yeah.
But she's not okay. I'm telling you.
No.
She has a heaviness of sadness on her head right now. And I just want to hug her. You know what I mean?
She lost her soulmate. She lost the person in her life, the main person, just put yourself in that situation. You've got your person in your life that's your best friend. They're everything to you, and they're gone. They're gone.
And that will happen to all of us at one point.
Yeah.
But we don't have to go out in front of a crowd of 20,000 people at Ole Miss.
No, you're absolutely right about that, Vic. I don't know how she does it. And you've got such evil. I mean, the descriptions from people coming out on social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, TikTok is just you talk about a cesspool, and they say, "Oh, X is a cesspool." No, TikTok is even worse. These people are coming out and saying such derogatory things about Erica. Okay, if you don't like her, I get it. Okay, she doesn't align with your thought process. That's totally fine. This is America. But why do you have to get on TikTok and say she needs to go to? Why? What is it? What is it?
The same kind of people who, even though running for attorney general in Virginia, says that his opponent and his kids should be shot in the head.
Yeah.
Same thought
mindset. Yeah, absolutely right. And it's kind of scary. Actually, it makes you open your eyes and say, okay, all right, at least I know the parameters here. I know walking down the street, okay, there are people out there like this. And I think that's kind of the scariest part of this whole thing with social media and everything and what's happened. When Charlie Kirk got shot in the neck and he died, I think it opened up our eyes to a lot of people because they came out and they lost their jobs because they're evil. You didn't lose your job because of free speech, lack of free speech. You lost your job because you're evil person and nobody wants to work with you. Someone said to me, I like, and actually it was a good thing. They said, I'm glad you brought this out about not wanting to sit in the same room with somebody, because someone said, I wouldn't sit next to somebody who had that thought, that evil thought to kill somebody. I would never sit next to, I wouldn't want to sit in the same house with them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's so bad to even think. So I can't even bring myself to hate somebody.
One thing that Erica brought up during her talk was that Charlie would be at one of these college campus things, and he would have his microphone and he would talk, and then he would put the microphone down and sit back. And that was a message. I'm not going to interrupt you.
Fold his arms.
Fold his arms. What is it you have to say? You know?
Yeah.
And not many people do that. Everybody's got to have that mic so close to interrupt. Blah, 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 you know? All right, let's get back to our National Geographic show. The rare John Fetterman does have an enemy in the wild, and it is the far left, to shut down the government people. Some people might be afraid of the extreme left, but not the brave John Fetterman.
As a Democrat, I am incredibly, I've been disappointed, and I refuse to have a political gamble that's going to put those kinds of food security for 42 million Americans at risk on this. Now, some people might be afraid of the extreme left, but I am not one. I am not one of those Dems.
And I'm glad he's there to not be afraid. And Vic, we talked about this with Nate earlier. We don't want anybody to starve. No one. And anybody who actually needs SNAP to get a leg up, okay, it's not a handout for good, but a leg up, then they should get it. But we've got to get the government open first.
Yeah. It's frustrating. It really is to see. We're so amazed that John Fetterman, who is a Democrat, is speaking with common sense, which you don't hear much from the left.
It's perplexing, and I'm glad you delivered it on that type of rarity. I mean, think about that. It is so true. What you were thinking in your mind was, it's so rare. The rare,
John Fetterman.
The John Fetterman.
I want to narrate a National Geographic show one time.
But keep that slight English accent.
Of course. Usually after work, they go and have a sweet little bevy and maybe some sushi.
Oh, that's right. You're reading about the British language right now.
I am. And I'm a little knackered, I got to tell you.
You little knackered.
I'm a little knackered.
We'll go get a bevy.
Take a nap. I'll have a sweet little bevy. We'll be right back. And we will do the chat box on 1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL.
News Talk STL.
Welcome home, mate.
Watch us on our live stream using Rumble, Facebook, and Twitter. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Keep your friends close, but your enemies close.
On News Talk STL. Colombo and Company.
A judge just ruled that Sheriff Montgomery can't really sheriff from behind bars. We'll fill you in on the latest Thursday with Mo Rep Justin Sparks, plus Virginia Cruda from the Daily Wire.
Live and local weekdays at 2 on NewstalkSTL.
Craving authentic Cuban flavors? Come home to Havana 1961, where family recipes passed down through generations come to life in every bite. From chef and owner Mama Maria's famous Cuban sandwiches to classic entrees bursting with bold, fresh flavors, we bring the warmth and tradition of Havana right here to Missouri. Havana 1961, where great food, culture, and community come together. On Main, in St. Peter's, or at Havana1961.com. We welcome you like familia.
If you're considering an annuity as part of your retirement plan, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel, and host of On the Money Saturday mornings at 9 on News Talk STL 1019. Annuities can be a useful tool for some retirement investors, but not all annuities are created equal. Every week, we meet clients who own complex annuities that don't suit their needs and, in some cases, actively undermine their retirement plan. Before you purchase an annuity, get a second opinion from the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel. Requesting a consultation is free of charge. To request a free consultation, contact us at clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member NYSE and SIPC.
Scott, can you believe it's already been more than a decade since the Queen of Carpets sold flooring to St. Louis area contractors?
I know, but I don't have to be a king to offer contractors today's lowest prices.
Yes, contractors owe it to their customers and themselves to shop at Best Buy Flooring for the largest in-stock selection of carpet, carpet tile, sheet vinyl, laminate, hardwood, luxury vinyl plank, and luxury vinyl tile.
Plus 3 convenient locations, North County, South County, and Metro East.
Open 7 days a week.
Best flooring, best selection, Best Buy Flooring.
Stream the Vic Porcelli Show at NewstalkSTL. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Vic. Yo, Vic.
On NewstalkSTL.
Catch that train. I encourage you to go to YouTube and watch the video for this, the official video of this, because they recorded this at Sun Records in Memphis, Ken, in that little room.
Yeah.
And the guy's explaining things I've talked to you about in a deli. That the picture of the oh my God, can help me. What were the $1 Million Quartet?
Yeah,
on the wall. Jerry Lee Lewis, Johnny Cash, Carl Perkins, and Elvis. And then they tell you about the picture, and it was the only time they all were there at the same time. And oh, by the way, they took that picture right where you're standing.
Oh, yeah.
And then you go, and then there's a microphone that Elvis actually sang in. And there's a guy explaining that to Bono in the videos. Yeah, it's the picture up there. The same microphone.
Yeah, you have to watch it. Go to YouTube.
Turn it up. No, come to town. Oh,
sorry, Vic.
Damn it. See how he pushes me around, everybody? This is what he does every day. Good morning, Vic Head Patriots. Thank you, Amy Mazzara. Scotty, good morning, gents and fellow Vic Heads. Have a great day, everyone. Good morning, Bam Bam. Ken, have Karen, Vic and Ken, sorry. Have Karen and her husband on at least once a month. Her husband could promote truck driving in the USA.
Thank you, Navy Chief.
Good, honorable career. I don't know. I mean, that's fine. Whatever. Good morning, freedom fighters. Barry says, it always feels like the sun is shining over here on Facebook. Good morning, Vic Heads.
Oh.
Good morning, St. Louis.
There you go. That's the sun talking to you.
Yeah.
Hi. Good night, everybody.
So we're going to have to do these out of order, Ken, but for the second one, you're going to need the music.
Oh,
okay. First one is Scooter, who says, God isn't making guys like, I don't know how Scooter knows about Pierre Robert, but he does. Many guys like Pierre Robert anymore. He was one of the original hippie disc jockeys. Absolutely. Long hair and stoned all the time. A real-life Dr. Johnny Fever. If you hear 18 and 34 minutes of Alice's Restaurant Massacre, He's that guy. The suits hated him. They didn't hate him. Nobody hated Pierre Robert, so stop it. But R.I.P. dude, for sure. Now, Ken, what's that word about lying when you're Islam? You can lie.
Takia.
Mm-hmm. I think Scooter's a little confused.
Oh, is he?
Because he says the word I look up when Ken talks about religion isn't tequila. What's the matter with you, Ken? It's the word bigoted. We don't have an official or preferred religion in this country, and we call it the First Amendment. Tolerance is the secret to our greatness.
Yeah.
Problem is, Scooter, it's not tequila, it's takia.
Takia.
They didn't make a song about it or anything.
Taqiyyia.
Not Tequila. That's tequila.
That'd be this.
That would be what you're listening to right now.
But okay, that whole takia thing. Scooter's going to be one of those people when they come up to him and say, no, we're on your side. We just want to, we just want to become the majority, and that's all. But we're going to be on your side once we are. And then they're going to be the ones pushing them off wherever.
Right. It's going to be, look, Scooter was found beaten up in a gutter today. Hey, Peggy says good morning. Great show. Friday will bring a better week for all of us since President Trump has proved to America he's not a liar. He is not a liar, everybody. Nope. Over to Rumble we go. 111. I find it hysterical that this is a competition amongst the Vic Heads.
I love it.
On who gets into the chat box first. And Ed is in 111 today. And Coyote says, hey, y'all. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. No fair election.
No peace.
No fair tariff.
No peace. I want to say Coyote. He contacted me on X, I believe. And so thank you. No, it's a guy.
Yeah.
But if you want to go to our X account, it's at YoVic7 and then at Ken J. Williams.
Okay.
On X.
I'm sure he's got friends who are veterans. So tell him to get us the names of some of the veterans.
Yes.
Some of his veteran friends.
Please do so and send them to Ken at NewstalkSTL.com.
For Vic for Vets.
Yep.
President shaking that Chinese leader hand firmly. Donald John Grover Cleveland Trump.
Didn't he? It was great.
I love it. I love how he just takes over. I love it.
And you know what else I like that I noticed is that she walked up to him.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Love that. I'll wait for you here. I'm not walking over you. Get over here.
Correct.
Yeah. Good morning, all you beautiful, mega, magic, ultra patriotic, deplorable, garbage, and degenerate, freedom fighting, God-fearing, Vic head weirdos. Whoosh.
Wow.
Do the whoosh. Your head's starting.
Well, I'll be.
No.
Whoosh.
Thank you. Hi, Scott. Hi, Karen. How you doing? We had Karen Kataline's husband on with us today.
Yes. Yeah.
And he was fun. He was fun. And he had a good sense of humor, thank God. I told Ken to warn Karen to warn Scott.
Yeah, it's fun. It was funny.
That, you could just, Vic could say any kind of thing.
Right.
But it's just fun. Vic, read your Red State article. Well done. Thank you very much, Hopkins. But, did you feel a butt coming on?
Yeah.
I felt the butt coming on. But we do have death camps in the United States, Ken.
Oh, we do?
At every Planned Parenthood facility.
Well, you know what? Exactly right there.
Good call, Hopkins.
Good job.
Shalom, Karen. How you doing? How do you say how you doing in Yiddish?
Because he's a mensch.
Hopkins says yes. Unfortunately, we do have the Planned Parenthood death camps. Hey. Okay, you have our attention. Hit that like button. Yeah, let me do that now. Let me hit that like button. And hit that.
I need somebody to say, would it kill you to hit the like button and then send it to me?
It doesn't say it. I'm the only one that said it so far today. Would it kill you? Would it kill you? New York City is concerning, but I'm more concerned with the STL Metro Illinois area first.
Yeah. But a lot of people will say how New York or LA goes, so does the nation.
Exactly right, Ken. Read my mind. Went free in my head. You
must have got manure for your brains.
You know how a lot of the libs, they live in Donald Trump lives in their head rent free?
Yeah.
Well, not anymore. He's charging them a tariff.
Is he? Oh, good. About time.
Yeah. Okay. The problem in New York City and STL Metro is complacent voters, minimal turnout. I can't
totally agree. Yeah.
Get out and vote in a Republican just to see what happens.
My sister-in-law is the Republican assistant director to, at the, what is it called?
You brought it up.
The Election Commission here in St. Louis, okay? And she says it's such a low turnout that it's despicable. And there's nothing, they can promote it all they want, but, you know, people just say, whatever you're going to give me. I'll live with it. And then they complain.
There's no excuses, okay?
Right.
When I worked at CBS, we were at that, you can see it. It said 198, Fresh 102.5, and that big triangle thing on 40.
Oh, yeah.
You were there for a while. Then we moved to Olive and I don't know. It was Tucker on.
Yeah, 12th Street.
Tucker.
Yeah, 12. Yeah.
And there was a parking lot directly across the street from the building that we were in. And every election day, that entire lot was filled with cabs to take people to polls so they could vote.
Wow.
So.
And all those people are going to vote one way.
So why are we letting them do it without competition?
Exactly right.
Now we're in the age of send Uber guys to a parking lot somewhere and drive people to go vote. Free Uber rides.
And just so you know, the parking lot that Vic's talking about is full of homeless people.
Of course it is.
Basically.
Yep. Zohran the Moran won the primary because of like 12% turnout. 12% that's in New York City. How are we going to get people here to get out and vote if in New York City they won't even get out?
The number of 12% came to mind when you were talking about St. Louis too. That's what I've been told anyway.
Y'all fired.
Oh no, people People need to quit bitching if they don't vote.
Exactly right.
Libturd, Demturds, Democrat, Corruptocrat. Well, I love that. One of our guests said that today.
Yeah.
Corruptocrat. There it is. Corruptocrat. Nate the Cookie Monster.
I think so.
Nate was on fire today, by the way.
Yeah, he was, man.
Constitutional conservative. Trolley stop cookies must be good for your blood pressure. I don't know.
I think so.
I don't know about that. Nate goes wild, Agreed. Lazy people should not receive SNAP benefits and other benefits allowed to minimal income Americans. But does anyone know how that USDA FNS makes decisions on how and who receives benefits?
I've been unemployed and I've used the unemployment insurance that I've paid into. I actually used it for about 3 months one time. And every single week I had to come up with 3 employers that I contacted every single week. So when I said 90 days, I was trying to be generous. Nate's right. If you're receiving that much money a month, it's like $1,500. I think the average is much lower, but I think that's skewed because most people that I've heard of get like $1,500 a month in SNAP and WIC and all that. So they should let them, if they're going to have it for temporary period, each week go in and completely fill out the information.
And then take the job if you're offered a job.
Yes.
So that's a state by state thing as far as how much money you get in unemployment.
Oh, okay.
In Colorado, you get like $1,000 a week.
What?
At least $1,000 a week unemployment.
Holy cow.
Yeah, it's $4,000 a month.
I was getting, I think, 300 maybe. I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
During that time.
I always figured it was my job to feed myself. You know what? People get in trouble.
I get that.
And that
totally
happens.
Yeah.
And I think that being benevolent is a good thing. But once you abuse the benevolence of a person or a group, then you get taken off the dole. Period.
And what we're talking about here also, that can you imagine a family member needing help and you say, no, I can't give that to you. I'm going to go ahead and give my money to the stranger over here. I know you need it, but I'm going to give it to my stranger friend over here that I don't know because he needs it. Okay.
And if you see somebody that's in need, today's deli day, get them a pastrami on marble rye, please, and an egg cream. You know what? When we get closer to the holidays, I'm going to bring in some Junior's chocolate syrup, seltzer, and milk, and we're going to have egg creams right here in the studio.
I'll try it.
What, you don't trust me?
No. I trust you. I just don't. It doesn't sound appetizing to me. I may be a completely changed person once I try it.
I guarantee you.
Okay.
You will like.
That's the challenge then.
That's the challenge.
How dare you?
I guarantee you that there are no Italian DEI hires. Know what I'm saying?
Know what I'm saying?
Know what I'm saying? Vic, be sure to check out Branko's tune today. I did, and I thought it was going to be related to my piece because right now it's me, all about me. And
Forget about it.
it's got a mousetrap. Mamdani for New York City Mayor. There's a piece of cheese in the mousetrap that says free stuff.
Oh yeah.
So it's a good piece.
That's really good.
And by the way, Tom Stiglitz, who was a great conservative cartoonist, did something for Pierre Robert yesterday. So he must be out of Philadelphia.
Oh, good.
Yeah, because he had the bubble. It had Pierre at the microphone.
Thought cloud, yeah.
And the bubble says, "God bless the Grateful Dead," because he used to say that all the time.
Yeah.
Vic, be sure to check out. Dem turds are only okay if conservatives were rounded up. An idiot yesterday said President AOC will do it.
Yeah, we got that audio.
President AOC. The tattooist from...
I can play that.
Play what?
That audio he's talking about.
Okay, go ahead.
And look, if Lindsey Graham and other Republicans want to go the route of saying it's okay to kill people illegally, just so long as the American public supports it, the American public needs to really think that through. There will be a Democratic president someday. And all my MAGA friends who are, cheering on these illegal killings need to imagine who gets killed when President Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez says that it doesn't matter what the law says. She's going to do what she's going to do. So look, I work here, so I understand the complete abnegation of principle and a complete thumbing of the nose at the rule of law. But I would hope that people like Lindsey Graham might not go that path, because it's a very, very dangerous path for this country to go down.
And Vic, this is what we've been talking about. If the Democrats ever get in control again, it's going to be like on steroids of what they're going to want to do. This is a threat. That was a threat.
Agreed. The Tattooist from Auschwitz is a heart-wrenching film. It's a good movie. You can watch it for free. Just go to there's a website called justwatch.com, and you put in the movie in the search box of what you want to watch, and it tells you every streaming site you can watch it on.
Oh, that's cool.
And when I was on my big-time Third Reich kick there, back when we were back at the Powerhouse,
right,
I watched The Tattooist of Auschwitz. Even kids, little kids, they tattooed numbers on kids. And it's based on a true story. Got to run. Appointments. Catch you on the flip side. Thank you, Ed Stoit. We appreciate it. All right. That's the chat box. We fit everybody in, okay? So next union meeting you have, all right? I don't want to hear it. No more grievances on the chat box. Yeah, okay, that's everybody. So Scooter thinks it's tequila.
That's okay. Tequila or tequila.
They all the Islams are all dancing in a circle.
Right. I can lie.
Shooting rifles in the air.
Yeah, of course.
All right.
That's good.
Beating up the women.
Can you imagine 4th of July this year if he wins in New York?
Oh man,
a bunch of rifles shooting in the air.
Right.
In New York.
Okay.
It's a lot of pressure.
You're doing good. That's good.
I'm working on it.
If you go to our stream, you'll see a sombrero, and that sombrero is on an auto pen. It's not a microphone stand. That's the auto pen. Just so you know.
And we have to talk about that auto pen because that's coming up. I think what's going to happen here, the DOJ and the FBI and all of its participants are so overwhelmed with things to do right now. All of these investigations that we keep hearing about, we're not hearing results yet. But keep in mind, they're building cases after cases after cases, and eventually we're going to start hearing about that, I believe.
Well, we should have told her while we had her on the phone, thanked her, Kathy from Harvard, when we were talking about the auto pen. She said, do me a favor, write your signature 5 times. Just write it. One line after the next, write your signature.
And try to do it exactly the same.
She didn't even say that. She just said, just do your signature.
Right, but even if you did, though, it would still be impossible to make it exactly.
But I think the point is you're not supposed to make it look exactly. It's supposed to just be
correct.
Natural, right?
Yeah.
And, oh, my God, really? You have 30 seconds. What do you want to say?
I don't know why. I thought I heard. I don't even know why. I honestly thought the show was over. I'm not kidding.
It is now.
I'm not kidding. I'm sorry. I didn't.
Well, no, we would like to have you come in a little earlier and talk.
No, you know what it was?
Nice.
I was trying to get away from that dude who won't stop talking out there.
Who's that?
I'm just kidding.
Thanks for having the record player on at night. Listen to us this morning.
Make sure you have the
Come in
record player
earlier,
on at
Jamie.
night.
And that guy, the scene stealer, the alcoholic, 3 martini lunch, he's next. Kenny, now see you tomorrow.
Hey, it's Susie Moore with a reminder that for 20 years, Harpo's Chesterfield has been the heart of West County's fun. With their award-winning patio, voted best in West County, and excellent sports bar atmosphere, Harpo's is your one-stop destination. The mouth-watering menu has made them famous throughout St. Louis. Plus, they've got great drink specials and the friendliest, most energetic staff around. Whether you're dining in or carrying out, Harpo's delivers fun, food, and drinks like no one else. Harpo's Chesterfield. Call 636-537-1970 or visit harposstl.com.
When water troubles strike, call the family you can trust. Tim Jones here for Ambassador Plumbing, serving our community since 2018 with 25 years of master plumbing expertise from Tim Morris and his hand-picked team. Whether it's a simple faucet repair or a complete bathroom remodel, if water runs to it or through it, they do it. From residential service calls to commercial to new construction, the folks at Ambassador are your neighbors treating you like family. Ambassador Plumbing, where faith meets craftsmanship. 636-383-6932 or ambassadorplumbing.com. That's ambassadorplumbing.com.
Hey there, Chris Cooper here, Serenity Wealth Management. Join us this Sunday right here on News Talk STL for Serenity Wealth Now Radio. This week's special guest featuring Rob and Kathy Connor of Connor Roofing. We're going to spend a little bit of time talking about how to make sure the goobers stay off your roof when hailstorms arrive. So tune in this Sunday right here at News Talk STL, Serenity Wealth Now Radio, or Serenity Wealth Now social media outlets.
Serenity Wealth Now with Chris Cooper. Sunday mornings at 9 on News Talk STL.
Investment advice offered through Fortis Capital Advisors, LLC.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Bellefontaine, KNBS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 1019, 94.1, and always streaming at newstalkstl.com.
Breaking news at Town Hall. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. The aftermath of an historically powerful storm.
People across the Northern Caribbean are digging out from the destruction caused by Hurricane Melissa as deaths from the storm have climbed. Emergency relief flights began landing at Jamaica's main international airport as crews worked to reach communities still isolated after they were directly hit by the Category 5 storm.
That is correspondent Karen Chamis. Melissa has been linked to at least 36 confirmed deaths across Jamaica, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, and other Caribbean nations. Preliminary estimates place a total economic damage at between 48 and $52 billion. Democrats have rejected the Keep SNAP Funded Act of 2025, a bill from Missouri Senator Josh Hawley designed to make sure food stamp aid keeps flowing despite the shutdown. Meanwhile, individual states